Welcome, my friends. Welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and the host for tonight's events, this 14th episode of Second Star, a Traveler 2300 Role-Playing Experience, Season 2, entitled Flight. I am the storyteller, game master, referee, whatever term you prefer. That is me. That is my term. That is what we are. That's my word. With me, of course, are my players, and occasionally one of my players' brother, who is currently lashed to the kitchen. I'm not going to dive into that, though. Please don't. But let's check in with them real quick, see what's new and exciting for them in their neck of the woods. And while they're doing that, I'm going to play around with my phone for a moment. We'll start with Charles. Charles, what's new and exciting for you over the last couple weeks?
Not much. My in-person game's been kind of funky with the real schedule problems, but that's kind of been expected. We talked about that at our session 0 because it's the holiday season, right? And everyone's busy.
Yep. Oh yeah, exactly. I know of a couple of people, well, at least one, definitely. I've considered it. That they basically just take the whole month of December off, so people are free to do what they got to do with family and holidays and whatever, or rest and relaxate.
Yep. And then I've been subjected to the last few days by peoples in my house to the either the plot line is either the crusty old businessman or a crusty young businessman trying to make himself available goes to small town to decimate a small town business and finds the true meaning of Christmas, or a bitter old woman or bitter young lady goes.
It's never an old lady because you can't fuck those, so it has to be a young lady. Give me an older guy.
Wow,
That's
we need like 2
fine.
minutes. We got the F bomb. Come on, we got to be better than this.
Right, a bitter
Oh, right.
young
We're not
lady.
supposed to swear for like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
a bitter.
Yeah, I get it. Just swear. So what? Is it ruined now? Can I just swear then?
No, he's getting monetized.
I don't know.
Always
I'm not
demonetized.
monetized
Never
anyway,
monetized.
but still.
Right. So are the bitter young lady who doesn't believe in the spirit of Christmas at all, and then all of a sudden finds the divorcee with the cute kid, and finds the true meaning of Christmas.
God, Hallmark movies are... And you know what the funny part is? I've seen the memes. I'm surprised they're not starting to make the rounds yet, or maybe I'm just not catching it, but the memes where they take like 9 or 10, 12 of the cover photos of these different Hallmark movies, and they're all basically the same guy and girl. It's just obviously each one is a different actor and actress, but they all basically look the same.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Yep, they all look the same. I mean, was it Candace? What's her face from Fuller House?
Yeah,
was one
Candace
of them for a while.
Bergeron or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm close to the name. I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. So I've been listening to those occasionally at night, prepping to go to bed or doing other chores, and it's just like, and I've been giving the people that are watching it a hard time about, well, which one is this one? Is this one the bitter man trying to become the true meaning of Christmas, or is this the bitter lady trying to figure out the true meaning of Christmas and then falls madly in love with the divorcee?
Oh man!
Oh, thank you.
Such a hard life you've got going there, Charles.
Yes.
Wow,
Okay, so Charles, would you rather want to start in the Hallmark Christmas movies or the Hallmark "You're a bad person who ruins women's lives" movies? Because those are the two movies you get to pick.
I mean, he's not that far off.
I'm gonna have to go with the. Unfortunately, if I was stuck on an island and forced to watch, then it's gonna be the sappy holiday movies.
You know, the sad part is I know from my own military experience that I am pretty sure that Charles has also had a similar military experience where we are prepared to answer these kinds of stupid questions because these are the conversations that we have in the middle of the night while on guard duty or watch or whatever the case might be.
Yep. Walking around.
Would you rather?
Yes. Now I will admit, a friend of mine just sent me a DVD set of all of the Rankin Bass holiday movie collections.
That's a great anime.
Right, and I may or may not have been watching a few of those recently, so haven't hit the highlight ones yet. I've been hitting all the other ones. Who are like, wow, they made one about this. What? When did this? What is this one ever on? And so.
I think my favorite weird of those is the one where Rudolph goes to the different holiday islands.
Oh yes. The New Year's one, yes.
Yeah. Where they're trying to track down a baby and force it to do a job.
Yes.
Wow, man, that brings back some memories and in such a weird, dark-hearted sort of way.
Right,
Charles, you got
right.
anything else, or shall we move on?
Let us move on.
All right, Wiggles, it's your turn. What's new and exciting for you in the last 2 weeks?
We're making salmon cakes.
Right on.
Yeah, so basically you just cook salmon in the oven, and then you make tuna fish, and then you turn the tuna fish into potato pancakes, and then you fry them.
I definitely would try that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. It sounds pretty tasty. That's what we're doing.
It does. It does
Yeah.
sound. It doesn't sound bad at all. Actually, I was being somewhat sarcastic when I said I would definitely try that. Only in the way that when people talk about making something that some people may not necessarily know what the hell you're talking about. They're like, "What the hell is that?" and "Why would I try it?" And I'm like, "Actually, I would try that based on that description." So, right on.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And then Friday, Quinn and I are gonna go see Godzilla -1.
Right on. I have not
Yeah.
been paying any attention to any movies coming out lately.
So that is by the person who is the lead writer and director for Evangelion. No, I think pretty sure is it Shin Godzilla that did the Evangelion? Oh, am I missing that episode? Minus one different. Oh, never mind. I'm Asian racist and I got my two Asians confused. I'm sorry.
I mean, it happens
Ooh.
to the worst of us.
Yeah, that's planned for us. Oh, and I've been working on a spreadsheet that's been slowly taking over my life. And I thought I was almost done with it, and then I encountered a division by zero error that is annoying.
You can't divide by 0.
Exactly. That's why I was fucking it up.
Like, you could divide 0 by anything. It's just 0 because you can't divide nothing. But you can't divide anything by 0 because then you start getting weird errors. Or maybe I have that flip-flopped.
So division by zero always gives you it never terminates. It never gives you a result. It just goes on forever. So it's undefined. But yeah, no, I fucked that up. I got and I know how to solve it. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
The only person that can divide by 0 is Chuck Norris.
Oh my god. Side note, I find it amusing, but also like it makes complete sense when you think about it. Like in a historical context, that it took a long time for humanity to realize that 0 is a number, or to consider it a number, or to treat it as a number. That idea, mathematically speaking, was groundbreaking, I'm sure. And I think I just showed some nerd there, but anyway. To me, it was always something that was like, so when they were figuring out that 0 is a number, the rest of us were still trying to figure out how to make sticks into fire. Okay, right on. I digress. Wiggles, you got anything else, or shall we move on to our currently relocated individual?
Oh, so I've been watching Northern Exposure again, which might have some special significance to Thugor, because it's about a New York Jew who is being forced to work in the medical profession for a small rural Alaskan town.
Wasn't that a Michael? No, I'm gonna stop. That was a really bad joke. That was a really bad joke.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the name of that movie? Michael J. Fox. He was a doctor and he got stuck down south.
That was Doc Holliday.
That's it.
No, Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood. That's right.
Yeah. Because he was a plastic surgeon, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was going to become a plastic surgeon, but he got forced to work as a small town doctor. Then he ended up falling in love with the town. You know what's a great remake of Doc Hollywood?
Didn't realize there were any remakes, but please answer us.
Cars, the Pixar Cars.
It is. That's the theory. It's almost a scene for scene reshot. The only difference being it's a race car driver instead of a doctor.
That is wild.
It's the exact same plot. He was on his way to be a big shot. He was really arrogant and rude.
Yeah.
Then he finds himself in a small town where he gets in front of a judge and he's forced to work off the debt by doing a civil service.
Yeah.
And as he's doing the civil service, he falls in love with a small town and he stops being an asshole and he bangs the hot chick. Well, however the hell cars do that.
I don't know. I guess that's how Kias are made.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe that was reaching a little bit too. I don't know.
Oof.
I can't think. No, not Kia. What's the little itty bitty car? The Geo Metro? No. There's one smaller.
No, that's an itty bitty car. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking. Like, I mean, obviously Geo Metro would work
Yeah.
for this joke, but not the one I was going for. I'm thinking of like,
Smart car.
yeah, it's just this like super compact car. It looks like you can't fit 4
Mhm.
people in it ever.
You can't.
Oh yeah.
There's
That's a smart car.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Thurgor, what's new and exciting for you, my friend? I mean, I know some of the
Well,
answers to that, but I will let you
yeah.
answer it for yourself.
The good news is I'm here.
Yeah.
The
That's always
bad
a good
news
thing.
is that here isn't home, and I'm dealing with some stuff, and we're just going to leave it at that.
Fair enough. I mean, I know. Well, I don't know what exactly you're dealing with, but I know you're dealing with some things.
Yeah.
And if there's anything any of us could do, please just ask. I don't know what we can do, but if we can, I'm sure we would. Welcome,
Sure thing.
Stormbender. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Stormbender, are you on the Discord? Because if you're not, you should be. But also, there's a poll going right now on the Discord server, and I could use another vote. I'll leave it at that for now.
That's your the poll is about whether or not we keep Krieg around. So he really is looking for more votes. It's not looking good for him.
The Creek Dominion's about to have its first public election, and it looks like Omar is about to leave office. Oh man, Thurgar, you got anything else? I know you don't really want to go into a lot of details about various things, but
Nah, I'm just worried about the name of tonight's episode. I don't know if that means yay, we're finally getting out of here, or there's something we're gonna have to run from.
well, that shall be
Yep,
revealed in
I
due
imagine
time.
so.
Yeah, that'll be revealed in due time. All right, let's go ahead and get this show going. Let's see. Previously on Second Star, once more we have a nice montage of a variety of different scenes over the last several episodes. Starting with, of course, the firefight in a restaurant, departing Beowulf, spotting a stealth ship, repairs of satellites, opening up of Llewellyn Station, cross-country driving through very rugged mountainous terrain, arriving at the Pentapod base and capture, interacting with 2 different pentapods named Frank and Llewellyn for ease of keeping track of which one's which, the cross-country trek to a crashed ship, digging in the mud and muck to get into the ship, exploring the ship, darkness, swaying flashlights and rope guides to keep from slipping, missing missile components, resin-like goo near the ship's vault, disturbed bodies, the vac-suited captain and a pouch of dog tags, the setting sun dropped low behind the mountain peaks, cold, dark, windy, unbreathable air, secret tech manuals, an easy drive at night, a tour, a sales pitch, immortality, eternal youth, defection, departure. And we return, more or less, where we left off. Date is marked as Wednesday, 24th of June, 2297, in the bottom left corner of the screen. And on that screen, as the sun is starting to peak up over the nearby mountains and ridgelines, we see the large crawler, the Grendelborn, as it pulls away from the Pentapod base. But shortly, that sun is occluded by ever-increasing clouds, threatening a storm well on its way to the local area. So I first let's recap a little bit more. You can't say DM, that's our word. And we lost Thurgor.
No, I'm here.
We lost you on the table.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, I just flipped over there because I was about to ask for a roll, but I wanted to recap just a smidge more, just to refresh everyone and to clarify some of those images. So in the Grendelborn right now, we have, as my memory recalls, we have, of course, our perilous crew, our 3-player characters. We have Dr. Grimaldi and Professor Smythewalker, or whatever her name is, that I keep forgetting / changing. If it was a poll for the next show, I just voted. Awesome, and if you got here on the Discord, man, thanks for joining us. So yeah, we have Grimaldi and Smithwalker Daniels, whatever her name is. We have Frank also, because as I recall, Frank wanted to defect or otherwise join the crew or something. Yeah. Not join
Yeah,
the crew.
he
but-
wasn't.
We offered Frank to be an ambassador or come check out Earth for, sorry, Beowulf for a while. That's what
There we
something
go.
like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then you accused Thurgor of cheating.
That's right.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah, and we're holding it against you. Actually, we're all
Oh,
really pissed
because
about it.
I said something about reading ahead, didn't I?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
you
ironically,
blatantly
that was the second time I've said something to Thurgor about reading ahead, and he and I had actually had a conversation in Discord between the first time and the second time. It's just he's been getting lucky guesses. That's all. That's all. But also in
the
the
last one.
go ahead.
I said that last one. I've been trying to get aliens on our ship the whole time I've been playing.
So those are the living human. Oh, and then we have the two former crew members of the Durandal, and I forget their names exactly. I can pull it up.
Wet baby meat number 1 and wet baby meat number 2.
No, these were actual people. They were just in a considerable state of shock, considering what they've gone through. And then we have
Nicole Fournier and Mark Hebert.
that sounds right. And then we have I know you guys were given a number. I don't remember exactly. It's something like roughly 20-something rifles, pistols, shotguns, some combat vac suits, a bunch of grenades, missile components.
I got it all recorded.
Yeah, missile components to include the triggers, I believe they gave you, the triggers for the warheads. Or you found the triggers and then they gave you the warheads. Minus,
minus one.
Minus the one that was degraded and whatever. And then I think that's everything that you guys have loaded on this Grendelborn that is probably starting to push maximum weight capacity.
11 corpses.
And, the corpses of the crew that you were able to recover. All right, so what I need is who's driving? I'm assuming Charles. I'm sorry, not Charles. Helwig is driving.
Yep.
All right, Helwig. It's your first roll. There's going to be a few driving rolls, and they're going to progressively get worse based on the weather and other conditions.
Oh, yeah, and we're taking the underground path because that's
Correct.
the fastest, quickest.
The quickest, yes. And the Pentapods, he had a name. I don't remember it now. Negotiator 4 or something like that. He said, take this path because the weather is about to get less shitty. And so he'd recommend taking the tunnel. It would cut down on travel time and exposure to the weather, et cetera, et cetera. So this first one is drive wheel Dex 8+.
Hang on just one sec.
Yeah.
Before we get going, I know that oh gosh. We had tried to contact the station probably a couple hours ago game time, and we were at the point of, there was no communication satellite overhead.
Right.
So before we get into this tunnel, is there going to be a window where we can contact the station and make sure everything's okay and let them know we're headed back?
You can certainly make the attempt, but I'm going to tell you that most likely getting that right connection at the right time of the Grendelborn to an overhead satellite to the station, it's going to be really... I know looking at the map, it's really not that far, but let's just say for the sake of argument / drama, getting through to the station is going to be sketchy at best. And if you do happen to actually get through, the window is going to pass quickly because of how satellites move through space.
Right.
So if you
who would be the best one to do that?
If you wanted to attempt contacting the station.
Yep.
/ what the fuck I say because I'm I will allow this. You're gonna need at least a 10+. What is it? Electronics communications or something like that.
Yep. I'll take a stab at it.
And you'll have. And if you get it, you're gonna have enough time for like a quick check-in, and then the satellite will lose line of sight with one of you. What
is the tech level of this vehicle?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, GM. What is it?
Is it at least 11?
Okay, so first I need to remind you that the stats for the Grendelborn are based on Traveler Mongoose 1.
Right.
Which I think I need to open up the other. So it has a different, not necessarily rule set, but different stats or whatever. Okay, here we go. Oh, it does have tech level on it. 11, which
Okay.
is modern.
So
Well, I take that back. Tech level 10 communications. So that's like a generation or two behind current civilian access. 12 being cut of the edge, military grade, military generation 1 or current gen. Thank you, Jesus Christ.
So the new rule sets say if it's tech level 11, then on a 1D roll of 3 or higher, it will have neural hookups.
Where is
Do you
that?
want to say it?
Where's that rule at? I don't doubt you. I'm just curious where
it's in a book somewhere. I
it's
can't
in a
recall
book
it off the top of my
somewhere.
head.
Well, there's a lot of words in a book somewhere.
Well, I'm sitting here with no
But the
books.
book says what I want. That's in favor of me. Don't worry about it. Okay.
No. It's the same thing that we used when I tried to determine if my SVB had it, because it was only tech 11, and it wound up not having it because we rolled bad. I rolled bad.
Okay. All right. So what is it?
Yeah,
on a 4+? It's got the
on a 3+.
3+.
On a 3+.
Get the fuck
Yep,
out
it's
of
3+.
here.
Yep.
All right, but I'm gonna make it -1.
Okay.
Okay, with you. Make your roll. Let's see what we got.
I'll make my roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I know if you make this roll, you're gonna get like a +97 to your communications attempt.
No, it's only like.
I know it's only 92. I know.
Oh,
All
look
right,
at that.
you lucky son of a bitch. Go ahead and
Okay.
do your brain dance cybernetic bullshit, and make
So
sure you
now
talk.
maybe it's
Make sure
+9.
you wait. Make sure you talk to Judy to make sure you have all the current tech. That's a Cyberpunk 2077 reference if you didn't know.
All right, so I'm going to try the communication
With a +17. Ooh.
with a plus. Wait a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then intelligence is 7. Yeah, so that's
so
Oh,
what
look at
I'm
that.
hearing
That's a 10.
is what'd you say?
I said, oh, look at that. It's a 10.
Not with a wait. Okay, hold on. Let's walk through that real
Yeah.
quick. What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is +1.
Okay. Com skill,
my
whatever
neural,
it is.
My comm skill is 1.
Okay, that's 2.
My neural bridge, when connected to a vehicle, gives me +2.
That's
And
4.
then I have the reference library for electronic comms in my head, which gives me another +3. It just takes twice as long to accomplish, but since this is just a message, I doubt that's a significant amount of
Okay.
time. So.
All right, motherfucker. You barely get through, and your comms are scratchy as fuck, but you are able to mostly understand. What is your message? Go ahead and hit me with that open line.
I'm just calling in for a status update and to let them know that we are on our way back from the Pentapod base.
You get a wall of static, and then you get something that sounds kind of like Roger, understood, something, and then more static, and then you get that ever recognizable tone of signal loss as the satellite loses the angle it needs.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. I've got to check a couple text messages. Apparently there's a conversation or something. What is this?
It's a phone, but that's not important right now.
No.
I'm expecting airplane.
Oh man, he's not supposed to be eating those M&Ms, and he's in here. Oh my god. I hope he doesn't hurt himself. So, long story short, really quick, before we resume here. My son is currently on a kick of trying to get me to quit smoking cigarettes, which I don't blame him. And not for nothing, smoking cigarettes is disgusting and horrible for your health, etc., etc., etc. But I do it.
Also, it's really expensive.
And they're expensive, yes. So in his current methodology of trying to get me to quit, he will find my cigarettes and then try to hide them from me. Well, this particular iteration caused him to go out to my car, which is where my cigarettes were, and he took my cigarettes out of the car and then hid them. But also while he was in my car, he took the bag of M&Ms that had been sitting in my car for... now, mind you, they're in like the closed center console, whatever the hell. And they've been in there for, I swear to God, months, if not a year. And apparently he's been eating them. And I'm just like, boy, I hope you don't get sick, because they've been sitting in my car for a long fucking time. At any rate. So,
Anyways,
yeah.
first die roll for the first segment.
Yep.
So that's an 8.
That's a flat
Plus a
8.
1 for
Yep, go ahead.
flat
Sorry.
8, plus a 1 for drive, and then plus a 1 for dex. So that's a 10.
That's a 10. All right. So no complications or what have you for getting to. It'll take you a couple hours. The sun slowly creeps higher into the sky, but not a lot. But
Right.
you see ahead of you now the entrance to the cave, or the tunnel rather. Well, it looks like an entrance to a cave, but it is the tunnel. Anything that we need to discuss in character before we head into?
All my character is gonna do is in his best German slash whatever. It's go choo choo go in the tunnel. Woo.
Has Frank ever been this way?
Are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm asking him. Yeah.
He kind of gives you, so like 3 of his eye stalks are kind of retracted, or they're more like, I don't know, I guess you could say like lazily just chilling near the top of his head as opposed to being fully extended. The other 2 kind of pop up and look at you, and he kind of does the narrows his eyes, and he's like, no, I haven't. No, why would you ask that question?
Curiosity to know what.
I don't know if he would be that accusatory in his response. He doesn't really have a reason, but he's definitely kind of curious as to why you would ask that. Not so much like antagonistically.
Yeah, just because we've never been this way, and we're just curious if there's going to be any issues.
Oh yeah, now he definitely gives you the more narrowed gaze. What do you mean issues?
Dangers, obstacles.
None that I'm aware of. It's just a tunnel as far as I know.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
Okay. So yeah. The tunnel is a bizarre formation. It's clearly, or at least as far as you can tell, it's got to be natural, but it's also kind of hard to tell like how this 50 kilometer long underground tunnel could be natural, or how it could last any length of time on a planet like Grendel. If you recall, Grendel is very seismically active. Not constant, but frequent earthquakes and things of that nature. Not to mention with the wide temperature ranges from one day to the next, things melt and things flood and things get washed away and stuff like that. The tunnel is mostly straight. There's a few kinks and curves along the way. Roughly oval in cross section and about 12 meters tall and 20 meters wide. The Grendelborn, of course, obviously easily fits through since it's only like 4 meters tall and 8 wide. Although obviously if there is a cave in or anything, there may be some concerns there. The walls of the passage are really complex whirls and swirls of dark volcanic rock. I mean, it wouldn't even, you don't have to roll any sort of like science, geology, or anything silly like that. This must have been a lava tube at some point in time.
Right.
But also you notice that there are they almost look like ribs poking through. I don't know if that's really the right way to explain it. But there's just this odd looking ribs of twisted and convoluted rock arching over the span of the tunnel. And they almost have like a rhythmic spacing.
I'll point that out to Grimaldi and see if he has any kind of insight on that.
Grimaldi actually is going to be like, Fritz, slow down. And again, because it's been an episode since we've seen him, let's not forget that Grimaldi has the interesting combination of Scottish Italian accents. And he definitely says, Fritz, slow down, hold on. And he's looking for like a swivelly spotlight kind of deal, and he's trying to get a good look at it without going outside of the vehicle, but he's like, that is very, very interesting. And after a moment, you see he's trying to find something else. And he's like, where is it? I know there's a laser measure. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a laser...
It's a laser rangefinder.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the damn word fast enough.
Plus, we have all those light panels on the outside too. We could kick those up.
Yeah, go for it. Turn the lights on. Turn all the
Okay.
power on. Let there be light, as they say.
Right,
Yep,
so we
yep.
turn on the gamer RBG and we turn on, some our bass music. And we put on some house stuff, with a really good drop.
Yeah. So after a moment, Grimaldi finds some sort of range-finding type device, and you see him shoot a beam at the closest rib, and then you see him shoot a beam at the next rib, which is kind of, it's like, 55 meters is not terribly far, but it might be starting to get a little bit in the haze of where the lights don't quite reach anymore. That's like 150 plus feet right there.
Yep.
But then he comes and he's like, "Holy crap!" And then he goes and like, he actually, I'm trying to think because I forgot that he can't just pop his head outside. You see, he's trying to get to an angle of where he could see either the next rib or the next rib back, and he's like, "Fritz, move up to the next rib. I want to see something." And so he takes like 2 or 3 different measurements, and he comes back and he says, "That is not natural. They are exactly 54.82 meters apart. That set of 2 right there behind us and the set of 2 right there in front of us. They are both the exact same distance."
Okay.
That's neat and all.
But
We gotta go.
We gotta go, man.
And you see this look of
Right.
like
I
desperate
know.
frustration.
That's for next spring, buddy.
Yeah. He's
And-
like,
and-
go ahead.
And I'm gonna say, like, looking at the controls, I said, "It looks like we can geomark this, but I can't guarantee anything. I don't know if the battery's gonna work." And I hit the button on the controls to just create a little
a little nav
GPS
waypoint
pin.
or something.
Yeah,
I'll be over the side going.
yep. And I'm just gonna remind him that you're in a tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Scary tunnel.
Scary. I can see Fritz doing that too, because I feel like Fritz, despite this tough exterior, kind of like
Yeah.
rough and everything, but he's just like, inside, he's just like, it's space. Everything will fucking kill you, including this dumb dark tunnel that we're in.
Yep. Yep.
All right, are we moving on? Shall we continue, or do you guys want to explore?
No. We want to go home.
No, I'm trying to go home. God damn
We
it!
want to go
We have
home.
exploring at
go
home. Okay. Yeah, no, you definitely see Grimaldi. He has this downbeat face of like somebody who had promised him earlier in the day that they could go to the park, and now that they're about to go to the park, they're like, "No, we have to go home instead of going to the park." And he's just like, "Oh."
We can let him out.
No, I think he wants to go home. At least, well, he definitely wants to get out and explore, but he doesn't want to be left behind. And there's a very distinct and profound difference between the two.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you spend the next couple hours driving the rest of the way. And of course, I'm assuming you guys are taking your time or what have you.
Yep.
Despite your actual like urge to get the fuck out of here.
Right. We don't want to get careless. Not at this point.
No.
Most wrecks happen within a mile and a half of home.
I need anybody that wants to let me back up. So as you first entered the tunnel, the ice and slush and whatnot, because it was frozen outside, it was still kind of early in the morning, local morning time. But as you got into the tunnel, it started to warm up, because you know how tunnels work. It's good to know the tunnel is ribbed and has good steady rhythm. God damn it, Wiggles. Yeah, so like in the middle, so like for the first, I don't know, 5 or 10 kilometers, it's pretty solid, frozen, hard packed. But then as you get further and further in, it starts getting slushier and slushier and slippier and muddy, waterier. I don't think that's really a word, but and then it starts going back in the reverse. So now it starts to get slushy and chunky water. God, that's even
Ooh.
worse. That's even worse. Chunky water.
Been there, done that.
That sounds like using the term moist too many times.
Yeah, now I'm getting the heebie-skeebies, man. God damn it. But at this point, the water is starting to freeze up again and getting rather slushy and muddy and whatnot. Go ahead and give me a recon intelligence roll for anybody that has got any idea of what's going on outside of the vehicle.
Well, I want to know what's going on. outside
Or
the
if you
vehicle.
want to know what's going on because you're
Yeah.
probably paying attention to things as you're,
So
safe
that's not
driving
real
and all
good,
that.
though. That's just 8.
Ooh,
I
Wiggles.
know jack shit.
God damn.
8,
Yeah,
9,
Let's just show off.
10.
Do you have
Yeah.
recon though, Helwig?
Yes.
What about you, Wiggles? Not that it matters. You're out of the shot anyway.
I'm not gonna get above 8. I don't have a plus 6.
Yeah. Okay.
My total was an 8, so.
Oh, so that was your total of an 8? Oh
my
yeah, because
total's
you rolled
an
a
8.
6.
Yeah, I rolled
Okay.
a 6. Yeah.
So it looks like the walls are moving.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Oh.
weird feeling too.
Flight.
I mean, I could have been talking about the flight back to Beowulf.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah, okay. So Hansel is gonna get out of the Millennium Falcon and he's gonna walk around.
He's got the little rebreather on and draws his pistol.
And then he's gonna shoot the tunnel and it's gonna get upset.
The tunnel's gonna be like. "Roar, roar, roar, roar."
So we'll kick the light panels back on just to see what we can see, I guess.
Well, it's
I tell
ironic.
Hellwig
Go ahead.
not to slow down.
Yeah. So
Keep
what you
going.
see is as soon as those lights pop on, it is like I'm trying to think of a good visual here. Give me half a second. You know when like ants are just crawling all over a piece of food that's been left behind? Vor? I feel like I know that. Is Vor from the official Traveler universe?
No.
No. No, 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 no,
Oh no, that's
no,
an
no,
anime
no,
thing,
no,
isn't
nope.
it? That's
I
an
don't even know
anime.
what that is.
I know I've
No.
seen that word before.
Don't go. No. Vor is a not safe for work word.
Okay. All right. Well, never mind. Never mind. All right. So anyway, imagine for a moment, when you're bumping around like at a public park, and there's like this clump of yogurt that's fallen on the ground, and there are like 17,000 ants just crawling all over it. When you turn the lights on, that's kind of what this looks like, except they're all coming from all of these small holes along both sides of the tunnel, in the walls of the tunnel, I should say, and they are all heading straight for the crawler. And it looks like there's hundreds of thousands of these little, we'll just say roughly rat-sized creatures. And when Frank he's got like 4 of his eye stalks retracted, more or less, and one of them he just kind of peeks up over the windowsill, for lack of a better thing to call it, as you guys turn the lights on, and he sees this, and all of a sudden he lets loose with this squeal. I don't know what else to call it. It's a squeal and squeak and a screech and a scream all rolled into like 6 different sounds at once. And it literally sounds like, I'm not even making this up, by the way. This is not the sound I would have, not the way I would have described the sound, but the writers of the original text said, sounds like a whole pod of enraged dolphins coming out of one body.
Oh.
So don't slow down. Maybe speed up. I don't know, but I'm gonna go about the only thing we have that would make, we don't have any incendiaries, so, and I don't want to actually release an explosive down here in a tunnel.
No, that would be
We do have
bad.
some smoke. We do have some smoke. So if we can, I don't know, crack some windows enough for me to.
Yeah, but keep in mind this
smoke.
isn't rolling down on the out in the woods or anything. This is pressurized. Or no, pressure is about the same, but the atmosphere is totally different. Yeah. So really, I think not to give too much of an
first,
answer
I would
away.
say everybody suit up. in case this gets to some point where we have to be suited up.
Yeah, but that would require somebody to either stop the vehicle so Hellwig could suit up, or do a crazy
Nah, he's
little.
German. He's fine. He's got it.
Wow.
Swap out.
Yeah, and when I say hunt, I'm telling you, like, imagine all the swarms of rats in New York, except they're not rats. They're like these little lizard-ish creatures,
Yeah.
and they are desperately trying to keep up with the vehicle. But they're definitely chasing you. And they look small enough that if you were to stop the vehicle, they could easily and very literally gum up the engine works and keep you from being able to move again.
So how does it look like progress-wise? Are they catching up with us? Or are we maintaining some kind of...
Make a either intelligence recon or intelligence drive. Anybody that wants to answer that question.
Yeah, all right. I'll do that. I can do that. Let's do that.
Okay, that's a 10.
Okay.
Oh,
You got a
Mr. I
10?
rolled 10. All right, let's see if I get my number 2.
Yeah.
Come on, you're going to do a 14.
Well, I mean, Wiggles. I mean, George is just sitting there going like, "Why is the Petapod screaming
Look
like
at
that?" And he hasn't really
About
realized
10.
it yet. It was a 10.
I got a 12.
Yeah.
See?
All right. Yeah, I think between the two of you, you can brain trust this with, if we just keep going, maybe even a little bit faster, we'll eventually get away from them. They have to stop
And
running eventually.
I have drive wheel 1, so I can take over for Hellwig, so he can get changed into his nappy.
Into his nappy.
Really?
Hellwig, what are you doing? Are you just gonna floor it and get the fuck out of here?
Don't floor it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got this Penapod screaming, sounding like 27 pissed off dolphins 5 feet away from you in a tightly enclosed vehicle. And then you've seen this horde of lizard rat dog things chasing you. We know that, and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but I'm going to drop this last line and then we'll see what you say. And we know Fritz is, I'm not going to say chicken shit, but we know he definitely has his feelings about things.
Yeah, It's, I mean, he was totally this cool, collective, like, I mean, not super spy, but, cop and things like this, but almost dying on the boat or on the spaceship after it decided to try to warp through a planet and some other stuff. Yeah, his abilities to be calm, cool, collected. He is. I'm not going to say he's getting like scared, but he's like, yeah, we're not stopping
for anything.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. It's like I want to mention something like do you remember some of them really old classical movies of like the zombie things and the people driving the big trucks through them? Yeah, that's what we're doing.
You remember that old classic movie Aliens? If they hadn't stopped, they'd have gotten away too. We're not stopping.
Just don't blow the transaxle.
Exactly. Oh man, I really didn't want to make that Aliens reference, but it seems so pertinent right here. Well, just because like that's one of the poll questions or topics or whatever the fuck you want to call it is, because I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on it right away. All right, so at this point, I need. Let me back up.
Is there a way to assist?
What are you trying to assist with? What do you
like assist Hellwig? I don't know if there is any way to assist Hellwig, but I mean, I can jack into this thing, and my reaction times are a little faster. But I won't. He's the one driving.
Well,
and I don't
so that
roll
was to see if the communications was wireable, correct?
Oh, you mean previously?
Huh?
I mean, that was just a baseline. Is the vehicle jacked?
Oh.
Yeah.
You're trying to see if this vehicle is brain jacked so you could drive it with your thoughts. Milligan holds the Coke bottle so Hellwig doesn't have to get up. Oh my god.
I have no skill in it, so at best I'm at a -1.
I think we're better off with
yeah.
I'm just gonna risk it. I'm just gonna go risk it and
maybe just a little faster.
Yep.
How reckless are we getting with your driving?
I'm not gonna get super reckless, but I'm like I'm not gonna worry about suit or none of that stuff because I'm gonna basically look at them and go, the sooner we get out, the better things will be, and if we hear extra thumps, don't worry about it.
Did the lights not do anything to him?
No.
No?
You can't
Okay.
tell if they were like.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the right
Because I mean,
word
they're
here.
down here in the dark, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, it doesn't seem that the lights bother them, but it doesn't seem like
Okay.
the lights were like extra attraction for them, if that makes any sense.
yeah. And
7
this-
looks like a total of 9 on that drive roll there.
Yes, sir. That's a total of 9 on the
Alright.
drive roll.
Eventually,
And-
over after like probably about a half hour, I don't know. Let's just say like 15 or 20 minutes at the most. Eventually, this mob of whatever they were have given up, ran out of steam, and effectively have stopped chasing. It appears to be safe enough that you can let up, and it appears now that with the ground, you'd need to let up because now things are starting to get really, really sketchy and uneven, slippery, and you kind of
Right.
need to back off on the speed anyway.
Well, and I'm gonna look back at the or talk to the doctor and say, and you wanted to stop. The answer is no. It's always no.
I think Grimaldi's gonna have a moment where he's just kind of like, all right, so the
That's
first
fair.
time I wanted to stop was about an hour in. That was 6 hours ago. I don't know how long it would take to cross 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers is what? What is that? 30 miles of tunnel? Man, that
Yeah.
would be a long time in the dark. So you probably would be going even slower still normally before the horde of black hissing things. Hissing, by the way, which I didn't actually describe as hissing. I just threw that out there now. Anyway,
Right.
yeah. So it's been a drive. Grimaldi's just like, yeah, that was hours ago, man. I don't know. We could have stopped there and probably been okay. I don't know if those creatures would have. You know what? Maybe we're better off not stopping. Let's just keep going. And then
So,
Frank is gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to turn to Frank,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I realize your position was primarily at the base back there, but from what we witnessed at the Pentapod base, you weren't treated like the rest of them. You know, that bishop came in and grabbed you and held you at one point.
Yes, he did.
But we do know that some of the Starward Vision pentapods, at least one, has traversed this before.
Yeah.
Surely
Llewellyn.
they encountered this before. Right, Llewellyn would have. So why would they not have warned us about that?
Frank takes a few minutes. Well, not literally a few minutes, but he takes a definite long moment to consider how he wants to phrase this. And he says, I heard, witnessed them, Starward Visions, talking, plotting. The Black Wall's claws, shame, guilt. I feel they knew this would happen. Llewellyn came this way, but maybe he knew after time not to take tunnel and used a different but closer, similar route.
That's concerning for our future relations.
And I don't know if he would actually say indeed, but you definitely get a look of some sort of agreement with various mouth sounds equating the same.
That's not cool.
No, and he's like, no, that was not cool. They literally tried to murder us.
It's looking that way.
I don't know if he's definitely not going to come right out and say it like that. However, Pentapod would say it. He's like, no, they definitely tried to murder us. I'm not happy either.
And it say that in that weird, direct tone, confusing.
Yeah. There would be multiple synonyms in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it? I'll ask him. Is it possible they wanted to harm you for leaving?
I don't think they. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
I don't know how pentapods work as far as that goes. So
yeah,
I mean, I understand there's different clans and they may have, problems between them, but I don't know if they would kill each other or not.
But they tried to kill you,
Mm.
us. I think the you us definitely comes out as a single word from two different mouths. So I'm really confused because they don't like me. They were more than happy to let me go, but why, if let me go, would they then kill me? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. So maybe they just tried to kill you and I was bonus casualty? I think he actually would say bonus casualty too.
Well, I tell him we plan on taking better care of you, Frank.
God, I hope. He would not say God, but he would be like, I hope so.
Maker, I hope so.
Yeah, right.
All right, we can move on.
All right. So yeah, now you have exited the tunnel and you're back out. We're back out in basically just blowing snow and fog. It is even heavy enough blowing wind that an occasional hurricane force wind buffets the vehicle, but the vehicle is pretty sturdy for the most part. The worst thing is you'll feel it in the controls when a good gust hits, but more or less the Grendel remains responsive as always. I do need another drive roll. This one's going to be a 10 plus, unless you are taking additional extra precautions, which sounds like you probably are.
Now that I'm out of the scary tunnel and the scary rat-like things and the scary rib-like things and the space worm, whatever. Yeah,
The Empire Strikes Back cave worm,
yeah,
which
yeah.
may or may not have been a thing, by the way.
Right, man. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go nice and easy, and just mention that, hey guys, this is like bad juju. Look outside. There's big snows.
Oh yeah, big blizzard
Snow
right
drifts.
now. Big blizzard right now.
Yeah, big blizzard.
Oof.
And I'm going to sit up front with Hellwig right
Oh.
now, and I'm going to do my best. I know the conditions aren't great, but I'm going to do my best to keep an eye out for any other surprises.
Okay, that's a fair bet. So
That's a 5.
yeah, I see that. Let me check my notes because definitely something happens now.
As I bump into something, I'm gonna go look back at the doctor. You wanted to stop.
So so you basically lose about 3 hours of travel time, or not lose, but you
Yikes.
gained 3 hours of travel time, meaning
Right.
that it's taken its because. So on one hand, you slow down because of the weather, but then you just like it got really fucking bad over the next couple of hours after leaving the tunnel, and it slowed you down even more. Unfortunately, along the way, you definitely hit some rather large rocks, and I need you to roll one die for both the hull and structure of the vehicle.
All right. One die, he says. What?
Oh, you got to make sure the die is more or less centered, and that is not quite. There you go.
Okay.
Right.
That's a 4.
Yep.
And then you said another one? And there's a 6. Where were you two? Just like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I put a -4 hull and -6 structure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to add 3 to that only because I don't recall specific numbers from the drive out. But you did take some damages.
Yeah, we didn't take major damages on the way out. I mean,
some little bits. Yeah.
Just double check. All right. So yeah, you have. Oh my god. Let me first move this up some more. So somewhere like here.
That's how we really have to get.
Now that we're out of the tunnel, can we try another comms thing to the station since we didn't really get much from them that first time?
You can, yes.
Okay.
It will be the same 10 plus.
Yeah, I rolled exactly the same thing.
You did. This time, there's not as much static, but what's disturbing is the computer or your console or whatever the case might be, whatever it is that you're using to connect. It says that you have a connection. There is no actual response.
Oh my god! If you killed my character's wife, I annoyed.
Excuse me.
So I also want to check, and this may not be for me. This may be for Hellwig, somebody. the survey sensor thing, can we tell where we are in the storm? If we're almost out or not?
Yeah, you
or-
have. I'm not gonna. It's obviously not a GPS system, right? But you
Yeah.
do have sufficient archive data. You've got okay, so you have data from before you guys came up and started doing your own survey stuff. You have your own survey stuff on top of that. You've got reference points from your first couple of drive. You know, when you drove to the pentapods, when you drove to the crash, when you drove back to the pentapods, now you're on your way back. So somewhere along all these different webs of data, you're able to roughly triangulate your current position in relation to Llewellyn Station.
What about in relation to the storm, though?
Oh, you're in the storm.
Right.
You better
but
start
can we
believing in
use
storms. You're in one.
Can we use the survey satellite to show us a current storm image so we can
To
figure
see
out?
how long it's going to be or whatever.
Yeah.
I am.
That's going to take another. And this is going to be a 12 plus.
Yeah, that would be
For this
somebody
one.
else too, because I don't
Yeah.
even have sensors.
Well, okay. So, are you trying to use satellite? Or are you
Right,
trying
that
to
survey
use?
satellite.
Oh, you're
I'd like to-
okay.
Yeah, see if we can get data from the survey satellite.
Well, it would still be a comms roll.
Oh, it would? Okay.
Yeah, it's still you're just what you're trying to do. So here's the thing. So you'd be trying to connect to the survey satellite from the Grendelborn using communications gear that may or may not work well together, because usually that survey data is, you know, for all intents and purposes beamed to a terminal that
decodes it all.
that would translate it. It's not used for active two-way communication messages and whatnot. This would be being able you'd have to trick the computer on the Grendel to interpret the information coming in, and then being able to understand the information coming in to find out if, you know, how much longer the storm's going to last. Does that make sense?
Yep. So I can do the communications part of it here.
Yep.
And I blew that one out of the water.
Yeah. Because you got a total of like +7 or something.
At least, yeah.
It's fucking cyber
7.
geeks.
Yeah. So yeah, that's +7.
Yep. And then I'm assuming Wiggles, what did you roll there? I know you got you tried to do the satellite thing too. So now, but then you got Grimaldi with you, so he can make a quick roll. And because it's Grimaldi, I'm just gonna change it from what did I say, 12 to a 10
to interpret the data.
Yeah, because this is kind of more close to his forte. So we're gonna say a 10 plus with intelligence and something. It's a 7. We'll call. He gets it, and the data he's able to extract. I should say. It takes him a little while as you're bumping along through the storm. So probably like 20 or 30 minutes. Maybe it takes him a little bit longer than even he expected, but he finally figures it out. He gets an idea. And he's like, "This storm is probably gonna last." I need to check my notes because I don't know if the storm clears up right at some point or not. It looks like the storm is going to probably break sometime over the next couple of hours or so, maybe around what would otherwise be local midday. Like maybe the temperature rises up to a certain point where it's enough to counteract the precipitation. I'm not a meteorologist, so something happens. Some variable that changes the dynamics of the storm. So it looks like, from what Grimaldi can put together, sometime in the next few hours. And then if he tries to take a look at like y'all's progress, and how much further you have to go, it looks like it'll be maybe a couple hours before you get to the station when the storm breaks.
Okay. I do let everybody know that,
and he tells you that repeatedly.
Yeah, that I was able to contact the station, but I had a good handshake with the station, but that nobody responded.
It could be maybe nobody's actively paying attention to the radio.
Right. Yep. But when
maybe they're all fixing something or bedded down. You know, because one thing, and like being realistic, one thing you guys have not been doing is having a very good sleep plan.
Right.
especially given the fact that we're looking at 70-hour days here. And so theoretically, each day and each night, you should be sleeping several hours, and you guys have not. And so for what I'm trying to get at really is that maybe the people at the station kind of figured it out, or probably had Dell say something like, for best mental health awareness, getting 6 hours of sleep every 20 hours is not a bad idea. Sleep? Is that a new country or company? Haven't heard of it. Yeah, that's it. That's about it. So, what's next? What do you want to do? Or are we just going to move on to the next?
Hellwig keeps driving. Yep.
All right, Wiggles, you got anything you want to get at? Are you good with just riding shotgun?
I'll take break. I do have wheeled one, so I can let Hellwig eat and take naps and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh, I heard a bloop. Oh, we lost Charles.
Yeah, I got disconnected somehow.
I'm sure you'll be back in a moment.
Somehow, Palpatine got disconnected.
Yeah, but other than dealing with the storm and the rough gust of wind and the occasional slippy slidey because ice and rough surfaces and whatnot, it's actually a fairly smooth drive for the most part, especially with the fact that you're taking your time. For whatever reason, we've tried a couple of times on the radio, and like I said, this last one, maybe they're not paying attention to the radio, maybe somebody's just, maybe they're all sleeping or something like that. But you do know that somewhere in the neighborhood of about midday, at about the time you're expecting the storm to break, you are making your way through a frozen stream bed, but it's not quite so frozen. It's still pretty solid, but you can tell it's starting to warm up out there. And up ahead, you see what looks like an LC-10, all crumpled and shit.
No. Want to leave.
All right,
Don't want to be stuck.
There's
Sorry,
two of them.
I'm sorry.
No,
please go on.
There's two of them, remember? And somebody
you only
was
brought one
pretty
up.
keen. Right, but somebody else was pretty keen on something about this. Are there markings on it? Can we tell?
Let me ask this question. Are you going to pull up more or less? I'm not obviously not literally right next to it, but are you going to pull up next to it?
Yeah, so is it like a comedy large note that says the Joker did it or something like that?
Joker did it?
Well, I mean, surely it has some kind of call letter numbers, whatever, on a standard.
I'm not going to lie to you.
There's
probably
no
something
about that.
That's probably something that at least one of you, probably the pilot, you would pay attention to tail numbers, but I never once gave that any thought. So let's just say for the moment that either the tail numbers are not visible or they've been rubbed off when it crashed.
I'm not sure really.
Effectively, though, I will say this. As you're getting closer and closer, the paint scheme is very much the same as Barrier Aerospace. Just like the other, between the two of them, they had the same paint scheme and markings and whatnot. It looks like this thing definitely went up in the air at some point, or was coming down from orbit, or whatever the case might be, and definitely crashed into the planet's surface. You don't know any details or anything. From your angle of approach, it is kind of up on a rise a little bit, so it's not easy to put the Grendelborn around to the front side of the ship, because
could somebody on foot do it?
On foot, yeah, it would take a little bit of work, but you can get up there. But the problem is getting the Grendelborn up, kind of a stiff, not stiff, but kind of a stiff, not stiff, goddamn it, steep, cliffside. It'd be easier if you just went out there on foot, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure how that. I don't know what kind of realistic situation would derive that, but getting the Grendelborn up out of the street. Oh boy, let me slow down and think about what I'm trying to say here. Getting the Grendelborn up and out of the stream bed and around to the front of the vehicle is not as easy as it would be to just get out on foot and do it for some strange geological reason.
That's fine.
I'm really kind of swinging here and missing, so.
And the winds are down enough that it's safe to exit
Yeah, the
at this
storm
point.
is let off quite a
Okay.
bit. If I'm gonna use pouring rain as my descriptor, even though obviously it's been snowing. The main storm, of course, was a heavy, heavy downpour. Now we're in the blowing, windy rain, drizzly shit that you feel like if the sun just popped out for more than 5 minutes, this shit would blow away.
And you said it's crashed bad enough. It doesn't appear to be salvageable at this point, or we're going to have to get closer to determine that.
You'll have to get in, either into
All
or next to the vehicle.
So I think we need to check it out.
I mean, it's definitely worth checking out because if this was your lander,
Right.
might well be fucked.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, if it's your lander, then there's one thing that can be said: you don't have to worry about fucking timelines anymore.
Right.
Oh,
All right. Who wants to go? I'll go.
this guy.
Go.
I heard, I believe Charles, but I'm not sure if it didn't come in very clean.
Charles
I'll
said
go.
not this guy.
No,
No,
not this guy.
I'll go.
Oh,
That
so
looks like an engineering problem. I'll go pretend to be an engineer.
I'll go do the thing I was hired to do.
But there's obviously an engineering problem with it.
Yeah, it looks like
No, it's generally not supposed to be a cube.
it.
Right.
Yeah, so
The
yeah,
tail's
just
not
as
supposed to be.
just
Go
as a visual descriptor, so this is a ship that it looks like at some point in time it went up in the air and it came down completely uncontrolled. It looks like
And
go ahead.
we tied ours down good, so I don't know. I mean, things can happen.
Shit happens, man.
So
You
let's
never know
let's
what
check
happens.
it out. That's right. I don't want to
Clearly there's-
overwinter here, though.
I mean, I would hate. Listen, I'm gonna say this: in real world, if I was in this situation, I'd be like, "No, please." I'd be just like Charles was a moment ago. I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. We need to check this out. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. This is grade A bullshit." Because I'll be goddamn if I'm stuck on this stupid ass planet.
All right. At this point, I'm hoping it's the other one, because maybe that means ours is okay. Ugh. All right.
It's a good
so-
starting point to being close to okay. Anyway,
Yep. Me and Wyatt.
all right, you
Is
two
that
getting
the-
out?
the crew? Yep. All right. So we suit up.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my rifle just for funsies.
Is this your
Um,
sniper, almost wannabe
yeah,
sniper
yeah.
rifle?
Yep.
All right. How are you approaching this thing? Like where to? Because you remember,
the
I don't.
safest way it looks
me-
like.
Let me look, because I know I have somewhere in here a basic floor plan or something for a. So that's the surplus lander, upper deck. There's there's a rear ramp at the back of the ship underneath the reaction drives that you can get to the lower deck of the lander. It leads directly into like a vehicle bay where something like the Grendelborn might sit.
Okay.
And then obviously there's a connection or what have you, hatch, tunnel, ladder. That's the word. It takes you up onto the second floor. So basically the easiest way to get in is from the rear ramp, which you could tell at this point that the rear ramp is not open and looks like it's actually crumpled or buried or both.
Okay.
The
I'll
only
be
other
happy
way
enough
in. Go ahead.
just to be able to make an ID on it, to start with anyway.
Well, for all
So
intents and
we-
purposes, so far, this does look identical to the lander that
Right.
you guys brought up. Short of tail numbers that nobody thought of until now. Including me. Most especially me. It does look like there's plenty of dings and scrapes and dents and whatnot along the hull, as if maybe it had rolled at some point a little bit, maybe a couple of times. It's hard to tell. The ground does look like it's rolled at some point before
Are there
coming
any
to a rest right here.
straps?
Go ahead.
Like torn straps or anything attached to
You
the
don't see any,
the
but
mooring
also
clamps?
yeah, you don't see anything like that. But also, it's not inconceivable to think that maybe any wind had ripped those off of the vessel once
Yeah.
it was lifted up. It
Now, let's
does
get
look
as
like you
close as
could
we
kind of.
can.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, let's just get as close as we can. If we can gain access to it, if we can't tell what it is from the outside, we'll try to gain access to it and see if we can figure it out from the inside.
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking at the Mongoose first edition. So let's just pretend that there's like an access hatch somewhere along the hull that you can get into on the lower deck, and that you make your way through. It's empty. It's bare. You know, there's seats and everything that you would expect normally, but like what you don't see is a bunch of the like securing equipment that you guys would have used with all the stuff you brought up. In particular, 200 something kilograms of meat and meat byproduct, and whatever other gear. Like, because like you guys brought a bunch of stuff with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
No, we
it would
don't.
have been, you would have definitely unloaded the lander, right? But some of that stuff that you would have used to secure that gear inside the lander would still be in the lander. Safety straps, cargo straps,
Right.
things
Yeah.
like that. None of that is in here.
So yeah, there's a airlock on the left-hand side, close to the bridge, and then there's the cargo doors in the back.
Are you looking at Mongoose 2 version?
Yeah, I'm looking at
Ships
the.
and Worlds or whatever the hell
I'm
the
look-
name of the book is?
I'm looking at the naval architect guide, whatever they call that,
Okay.
the aerospace engineer
Yeah,
guide.
AEH,
It's actually in the back of there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go off of that. I don't have that open at the moment, but yeah, you get inside, and long story short is you looking around and you're like, this, I don't remember it being this empty inside the lander when we left it. Like, this is like, it was left empty. Like, they stripped it, short of taking out the bolted down seats and whatnot.
Okay. Is there not some kind of placard on board that says the ship's name?
I don't know if they ever had names either. Like, ever. I think they just had, they may have only been referred to as 1 and 2 or something like that. Like, and I mean that like out of game. Like, I don't think they were ever identified. You do notice what looks like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. It looks like somebody spilled some sort of jelly over near the hatch that leads up to the flight deck. And like it seeped a little bit before it froze.
Jelly.
Yeah,
Unless
you know,
it's
like
more of that-
imagine like, you know, the so you have the hatch, right, that separates the
Yep.
two decks. It looks like some sort of jelly or reddish maroon brown goo, like seeped through from the top deck to the bottom deck. But once it came down into the bottom deck, it froze because of the much lower temperature. So they're kind of like, there's like little stalactites of this goo. I'm not sure if
Does Wyatt know what that is?
Do stalactites point down or up? I always forget.
Stalactites hang tight to the ceiling.
There you go. That's a weird way to remember it, but if it works, it works.
So does Wyatt recognize it as any particular substance used for the, is it like some kind of lubricant or something from the ship, or? I just ask him what he makes of that.
Yeah, what do I make of that, Jim? What is that?
I mean,
Can I put it on a bagel? Is it a good smear?
I mean, it's frozen right now, so it's not going on anything. You can put it between two pieces of bread and eat it. It's not getting smeared on anything right now. It's frozen solid. But it does look like
Like my ex-wife.
oh,
over
that
here.
got dark. It does look like you can it does look like there's at least like not residual power, but like low power mode, so you could open the hatch and see what's up there if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not that interested. With everything gone out of here, I have my doubts that this is our ship.
Which may be a good reason to go look. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you how to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, no, I try to look for the tail number. I try to find the VIN code in the dashboard.
Well, that would require the dashboard VIN number. You probably have to get that like up on the bridge, not the bridge, flight deck. The tail
Unless it's
numbers.
like one of those
So
cars
I'll
where it's
make
like
this.
inside the doorwell.
I'll make this argument about the tail numbers. Maybe in the process of Barrier Aerospace going under and the bank repossessing and whatever else was going on with the company falling apart, that the tail numbers had been removed because they'd already been reassigned to other vessels. Does that make
This
sense?
might be, and this might be that vessel that the two owners took and then tried to jump away with.
I will tell you out of character
that was
that was a
different.
totally different vehicle altogether.
Okay.
That
All
was
right.
some
All right.
kind of yacht.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you as characters would know that there's two landers still
Mm.
on.
Yeah, I asked
At
him
one
to
point there was two
disable it.
landers on Beowulf, and
Yeah.
you guys took one of them. The other one was staying back because, and the one that you took was the one that the college has fingers in the pie on.
Right. And the
University
other
of
one,
Elysia.
I asked Reese to disable, but I don't know if that happened or not.
Oh, because you were worried about the terrorists.
I was worried about those terrorists. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this definitely looks like the other one.
All right. So.
Just based on the fact that it definitely appears as though, none of your own restraining packing gear that you would have left behind was still in the ship.
I want to look around enough just to make sure there's not any bodies on here. If this thing got thrown up in the air and rattled around, if there was somebody on it at the time, they may still be.
Are you going up onto the flight deck then?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a body up there. His head is gone. It looks like part of one of the compartment wall sections. I don't know how to explain this, but ships are Thurgor because you've read AEH a few times, I'm sure. And generally speaking, ships are built compartmentally, if that makes sense. There are various sections of the ship that the compartment itself holds one generic purpose usually. And so what it looks like is one of the bulkhead sections got separated from the rest of the wall, came down, managed to catch this dude, chopped his head more or less half off. That blood that comes from the neck and the lower part of the head is what seeped through the seal in the hatch to the lower deck and froze. And I was trying to use that as a now not a red herring, but come look at me. But here's the other thing: I need you to roll a recon intelligence 8+.
Yeah.
Both of you, if you're both up on the flight deck.
All right. Intelligence. You said recon intelligence.
You don't even have to roll because I'm sure whatever Thurgor sees, he's going to tell you. Let me get my notes.
I mean, he might decide just to be kind of a dick player and just refuse to tell me.
He could. All right, looks like you both got it. Yeah, at the controls. Well, in this case, not so much at the controls. He looks like he was at the controls at one point and then got flung backward as different parts of the ship buckled, and then he lost his head. Someone you don't know wearing a vac suit with no markings. It does look like he has clothes on underneath his vac suit. This is definitely a vac suit. This is not a what's the word I'm looking for? Hazardous environment.
Yeah, hazard. Yeah.
This is a vac suit.
I want to open it up enough that I can see what he's wearing.
Okay.
Not if he's one of those terrorists, he's necessarily wearing exactly what they were wearing on Planetside, but I want to see if he's got any kind of uniform or whatever.
As you open up
his armed. Yeah.
Yeah, as you open up his vac suit, you see that he's wearing a body armor vest that looks like. Are you familiar with the term Molly?
Molly?
As far as web gear?
Oh,
not the pill.
I thought you were talking about popping Molly.
No. Molly, and I don't remember. It's an acronym, but basically it's
MOLLE or
MOLLE.
Yeah.
It's basically got a bunch of loops and things, stuff that you could. So what he's got on his chest, other than his clothes, is this vest with a bunch of Molly hooks on whatever. And it looks like you could tell from where it's faded versus where it's not faded in the material that he had different pouches and pockets and whatever that he had taken off so that he could attach them to the exterior of his vac suit. But for whatever reason, the vac suit he's wearing doesn't have all that.
Are there weapons or anything around?
No, strangely.
No? Okay.
But there is a big gash window.
Yep.
Not gash, but the window panel is just completely blown out. So if he had a weapon, it may have flown out the window.
Yeah. I'll turn to Wyatt and says, this looks like one of those terrorists. I said, this one hadn't exploded. I think we should go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a pat down on the vac suit to see if there's any identifying information.
No. The most we
No.
find is maybe like on not necessarily an arm, but maybe on the side of his neck is a small tattoo that if you had done any research into the Black Watch, you might have recognized as a Black Watch based tattoo.
Okay.
We took some pictures of some of that stuff on those.
Yeah, I
corpses
mentioned
before they
like
blew up.
Thurgor. I mean, damn it, Milligan had taken a bunch of video and camera footage.
And
all
Hellwig
that.
looked at him real close too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that you would probably recognize that this is definitely a Black Watch tattoo. This guy is definitely a member of the Black Watch based on his gear, because also
crap.
like the gear is the same coloring pattern, whatever that they had when they attacked you at the restaurant.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
Let's get out of here. I don't like that this one hadn't blown up. So
look for the like the vac suits, like computer, whatever. Like, and I'm just gonna like take the hard drive.
Okay, I'm gonna ask just as me asking you. Are you looking for anything particular on the hard drive, or are you just taking it?
Oh, not here, but eventually, yeah. Basically, I want to know like time of death and whatever, and just go through to see what the suit went through, whenever, just to get a better picture of what happened to him. Because like so like that suit's basically like track your vitals and all that jazz. So it's kind of like an impromptu like black box, but for like the body.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're going. Like it's effectively a black box / forensic information that you can use to try to figure out what happened right before he died, or at least piece it together with other information.
And I'm intimately familiar with vac suits, so it's like, oh, this is a JVC model 512. The
JVC. You sure it's not a Sony or Samsung?
Yeah, the flash drive unit is like over here on the back, in the back port back here.
You want to grab the one from the ship too?
The actual black box.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's that should have been very obvious. Yes, if that is at all accessible.
Oh yeah.
And by accessible, I mean I have saws.
You may have to go back to the lander. I mean, not the lander, but the Grendelborn to get tools or whatever to get to it. But it's definitely easily. I mean, for an engineer who's lived his life in space, and this is a spacecraft, it would not be terribly difficult for you to figure out where it is. So
yeah, if we have the time, I will definitely.
You could definitely take the time.
I think we
should. The question is whether or not the group would want to take the time.
I look at them and I browbeat them.
Yeah. This is a necessity. We need to be able to, at the very least, we need to be able to show them back home what happened to the ship, so that they can mark it off.
The whole bankruptcy thing, the whole conundrum that they're in, they're gonna want evidence. So yeah.
Yep.
Wyatt, go ahead and give me a 10+ engineering intelligence whatever roll.
I like that confidence and passion.
Well, the 10+ is only because it doesn't fucking matter.
12.
The 10+ was to try to get it done quickly, knowing that you guys are in a generic sense of let's not.
I'm not taking my time, so I'm speeding up. Yeah, the +2 difficulty. Right. Okay. So my total's a 12. So
Yeah. No, you definitely get the black box. You even have time to take a look at it, like see some of the flight data if you want.
What's weird is that we call them black boxes, but this one is more like a Terra Aquamarine.
You have a moment if you want to, or even as you're driving, you could probably just plug in. I imagine it's not terribly difficult to get access to the information in it. I also imagine it's not just a simple USB plug and play, but I imagine it wouldn't be terribly difficult to plug it into one of the lab computers inside the Grendelborn as you're rolling down the road and get some flight telemetry data.
If we don't have a compatible, like cable, whatever, I could just like cut open like a USB cable and just do my own hodgepodge wiring and soldering and stuff like that. And,
yeah, I mean you've got probably 5 or 6 hours left before you're back at.
Yeah, so I'll wire the black box directly into Milliken.
Okay.
And then he can kind of just matrix into the black box.
Oh, man. I didn't even realize before. I was like, okay. I was like, oh shit, he meant literally wire it into fucking Milliken.
I was thinking about that, but I was just gonna stay quiet.
All right.
All right, so I need to
I have
talk
no
with
idea
everybody
if
on the
black boxes
Grindelborn.
in this universe would come with that kind of stuff, but
I feel like
whatever. I
somewhere
can.
with all the cables in the lab of the Grendelborn and the fact that they're between you and Cyber Geek Boy, I'm sure that you can figure something out.
Yep.
So my
Splicing an
plan-
HDMI into an old school printer cable to get data transferred out of a black box and into somebody's brain.
We're gonna need to take a break unless you want to hear me bang the shit out of some toast.
Wait, was that serious?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to make breadcrumbs, and we don't have any, so we made some.
Ah, you're gonna mute yourself?
Yeah, because it's gonna be loud. There's no way to make breadcrumbs quietly.
I mean, the
Show
breadcrumbs.
Put them
All right,
in a
where's the
plastic
hammer?
bag and you roll them with a roller pin.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a rolling pin. We got a hammer though.
Well, all right.
I guess that's a way.
So when we get back, I let them know that this is obviously a ship brought here by the same terrorists that attacked us in Beowulf.
Or
Um,
a different squad,
yeah.
but the same people.
Right, the same people, yeah.
Because 2 or 3
So I
at
asked-
least died. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. Please continue.
That's fine. I asked Grimaldi and the lady doctor, did they have any skills with firearms?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna go with Grimaldi could probably figure out the business end from the not business end of a pistol. The other one, Jackie Smith Daniels, is categorically no.
Right. Okay.
I feel like she's far too academic to have ever shot a weapon of any
Yep.
sort.
So I tell her that until this situation is resolved, she will not leave the Grindelborn.
And this is because she's asking you this, by the way. And this is because bad guys, guns.
Bad
Yes.
guys, guns.
Yes.
No,
These are the same group of people that, attacked us at that outside restaurant.
Grimaldi knows that incident very well. He was there.
Right.
In
Yep.
fact, Wyatt
So
rushed his ass
we're-
out, got a good Samaritan to fully extract them. So, yeah.
So we're probably going to stop short of the station and proceed the rest of the way on foot. Those that are going to participate,
Yeah.
so that we can see what's waiting for us there.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yep. And
Anything else?
no,
Are you guys gonna look at the data?
oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm assuming Wiggles is just muted, and maybe he can hear as well. I don't know. We can back brief him.
I can hear you guys. You're not saying anything interesting, but I can hear you.
Damn.
I can hear you. You're boring as fuck, but I can hear you. That's what I heard.
No, I smashed the shit out of Brad. I'm back.
Okay. So the long and short of it is the flight data that you're able to pick up from the black box. Reese, the second of the 2 pilots for Barrier Aerospace. Reese logged in as the pilot. Departed Beowulf. Arrived on Grendel. There is an entry indicating, prior to departure, several people boarded the vessel. It obviously doesn't indicate whom. Just 6 or 8 or something like that. Arrived on Beowulf. I'm sorry, on Grendel. The vessel was put in a powered down standby mode, or effectively it was put to sleep, like you would put your computer to sleep, so that could be relatively easily powered back up. And then the vessel was powered back up in order to activate life support with a very specific 70. I don't know what this would be in Celsius, but I'm going to say it in Fahrenheit. 75 degrees. Now, it makes a note in the log that the normal interior operating temperature of the cabins is 68 degrees. And then there is, in the flight telemetry, mad amounts of inputs. roll angles, yaw angles, pitch angles. But it also should be noted that nowhere in there was engine input or pilot input. And then the telemetry stops.
Yep. So, quick question.
Uh-huh.
On the landing pad at the station, is there space to tie a second ship down?
I'm just gonna say yes without.
Then I love Reese.
Yeah.
Reese screwed them. Reese knew that ship had to be tied down.
That's out of character. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And hopefully in character, that is a fair assessment.
Yep. All right. Good job,
And
Reese. I hope he's still
alive.
alive.
I just want to point out that I really had to be careful how I phrased that. So I was like, there's a bunch of pitch, yaw, and roll angle inputs, but there are no pilot inputs, no engine inputs.
That was all the wind. Homie must have been cold and came on here and
yeah, that's why, and I made that point too. He was like, "Man, it's fucking cold out here. Let me go out here to this ship and fucking warm up."
I bet
And
he was
then
supposed to be on guard duty outside.
And then all of a sudden, wind.
Yep. All right. Good job, Reese.
All right, I feel like we're ready to move on. Are we not?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we got plenty of weapons to pick from.
That you do.
Those submachine guns were tearing our ass up on Beowulf. We've got 20 of those.
You know, I was thinking about that earlier today because I knew this scenario was going to come up. I was like, did they bring guns with them when they left Beowulf? I don't remember if we clearly, and I know if I asked, it's going to tip my hand a little bit. I totally forgot about all of the fucking firearms in the back of the fucking Grendelborn.
Hand grenades, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you got all kinds of shit. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Firefight for days.
So while we're traversing that last little step, again, we want to stop far enough away from the station that we're not.
Before we get too much further though, unfortunately, I do need my last roll for the traversing back to the base.
Okay.
This is going to cover about 4 hours of driving, more or less, including, of course, the stop at the Not Your Lander. I need a 12 plus. Reduce it to 9 because I'm assuming. Well, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
The storm has broke. The weather or the temperature has gone up, so the road. It's not a road. It is muddy as fuck. It is slippery as fuck. But as far as you know, there may or may not be armed terrorist fuckers at the base with your friends and your wife. Well, Wyatt's wife.
Right.
Are we hauling ass? Are we moving swiftly but surely? Or are we moving safely?
Well, the question is, I mean, how much more timeline do we have?
We're good right now.
And so far as like how much for drive time do you have until you get to the station?
No, like
do
we have to
the planet.
Get off the planet.
Today is the 24th, going on the 25th, and if memory serves, you have to be off Grendel by the 30th. I think.
Yeah, we're good.
I think you're more or less good to go.
Yep.
But there is definitely that sense of let's not dawdle any more than we have to. Let's not play it where we're just literally coasting into our docking spot on fumes and inertia alone.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to take my time to kind of get there, even though I know that there's because we know that there's bad guys there. So I don't want to come racing up and roll right into
an ambush a mile out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also don't want to haul ass because I may end up driving literally off the side of a mountain and killing us all.
Exactly.
All right. So the base number was
sticking close. Yeah.
So the base number was a 12. I will go ahead and have you roll a 10 because you are being cautious, but you're not being super cautious.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh.
You not only are you driving cautiously, but somehow you managed to actually cut off like an hour or two.
Nice.
And in fact, you get. Let me find my notes here. Let's see. Grendelborn, this is Dell. Come in. Grendelborn, this is Dell. Come in.
I'll answer.
Grendelborn.
I say, go
Sorry.
ahead, Dell.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the actual response. Unknown and armed assailants have overtaken the station. Approach with caution. Your friends are in the logistics module, upper level. 2 are on guard outside the station, with 2 more guarding your friends. There are 2 additional assailants whose locations I cannot currently verify, and 2 more that I suspect are no longer among the living.
Okay.
At this point, I
thank
think
you.
it would be safe to say that you're, at this point, roughly a half hour or so from the station. If you could if you continue the rest of the way in the vehicle. If you continued on foot, maybe like 2 hours.
Okay. So I will thank Dell for the information and tell him to let us know if the situation changes at all, that we are close and are going to try to deal with the threat.
I must warn you, they are armed and armored. I can assist in a limited number of ways. For instance, playing with the lights and producing sounds to disorient them, but I would need to coordinate that with your assault in order for the most bang for the buck, I believe you would say.
Can you lock down the logistics model if we give you a heads up?
I think he can. I would imagine he's got access to the
Wheel
actual
control and
doors and
stuff,
shit. Yeah. He
Yep.
can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell him to be on standby.
I will be standing by. I almost wanted to say bystanding, but I don't know if Dell would have that much of a sense of humor yet. So you've got a nice little firing match or fire team standing between you and your friends, but they are spread out.
Right.
We didn't bring ours, did we? Because they're all hanging out at the station.
Your people are your big shooters are. Well, okay, so this is what I'm tracking that you guys have here. You obviously have. Well, you guys have pieced it together that Reese is up here as well now. You have Kirsty Blaine, Alicia. Oh, it was the two Bobbsey twins that stayed behind.
Yeah.
Because one of them was banged up pretty bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you have Kirsty Blaine, Alicia Wyatt, Paul Gray, Marshall Tran. If he came up with you guys, that was the navigator on the Wayfinder or Astrogator. And then Jarvis Tillman, if he came up as well, he was the other steward.
Right.
Okay.
And then, so those are all, according to Dell, they're all in the logistics module, the second floor. So there's two of them are on guard outside, 2 more with your friends, and 2 additional that Dell is unaware of their current location.
So I don't know if you recall, but I brought my suit, my vac suit with me, my armored vac suit, and I wore it here. But then once we got here, we switched over to the hazardous stuff.
Yeah.
What is my duration outside in my armored vac suit?
I have no idea.
I know
I really don't.
I know it can't withstand the nighttime stuff, but I don't know about the daytime stuff.
Well, it's a vac suit, so it should, in theory, be able to handle something close to absolute zero.
Yeah, it should be able to, on a normal space environment, a vac suit should be able to keep you out there for 8 hours, and then
but the problem, I think the problem with vac suits on Grendel is because they're exposed, to weather,
the atmosphere, right?
The atmosphere that when they get wet, and eventually it
Ice
seeps.
freezes
Not necessarily, I don't know
them,
if it necessarily seeps through, but like obviously anything that gets wet becomes less insulating.
Right.
And then I think you were getting ready to say it, things freeze over, gets into the joints, the articulation systems, whatever. So that's where those suits tend to fail. Whereas a hazardous environment suit is designed to take that into account.
It just has no armor protection.
Right. Unless you use, I mean, you've got combat vac suits from the Frenchies. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't know if I have any stats.
I got my
for them.
own, and we've got all those other ones. So if y'all want a combat suit up, now is the time.
Well, that's what I
just want to make sure it's reasonably safe. Like we got 2 to 4 hours, of being out in the elements. In these suits as opposed to the others.
Yeah, at the bare minimum, I'm gonna GM handwave. You've got at least enough time for the firefight.
Okay, cool. All right.
So the other thing we got to figure out is what their armor value is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I can look at
I need. Oh God, what book is that
probably
in?
anywhere between 6 and 10, depending on. But those are military, so they're probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking at the characters book really quick. My computer, work with me.
I don't remember which book has more. If it's the characters, one or the other one.
Personal armor and pressure suits is on page 83 in the book.
I'll look
Characters
in
and
the other
equipment.
one. I'll look in
Civilian
tools for frontier
armor,
living.
military body armor, full body inertial, full body rigid, inertial. I know I saw combat vac suit in here somewhere. I just happened to be looking and saw it. See it. Might not have been. Oh wait, if I saw it in the.
Yeah, mine is not technically considered a combat vac suit, but I mean it works like one. So mine's considered to be a security environment suit. And it's the only
I
one
think
listed
that's
in the
in
tools for frontier
security.
living. It's plus 10 protection, plus 100 rads. Takes vac suit 1.
I forgot that fucking Traveler has the whole rigid and inertial.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's for regular body armor stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Oh,
That
maybe.
might
Oh,
come
maybe I'm
into
not
play
going far
later.
enough. Maybe that's why. Guderian Protective Systems K-19B combat vacuum suit. Oh, that doesn't sound French. But I imagine the stats wouldn't be that far off. So that has protection plus 12. Holy shit.
It's a good one.
Heavy duty hard suit. Wait. CVS. Oops. K-19 is designed with a limited. On some models, seal the suit failed to exposure. Blah. Can only handle small breaches such as those made by small caliber weapons. Includes a radio with 20-kilometer range. Helmet visor has an anti-dazzle coating, so no lasers in the face to blind you. They'll just burn through your, kill you. Okay, yeah. Jesus. I don't have any other system to go with. This is what I'll do. I know 12 sounds really good, but I feel like 12 is tech level 11 though, so I guess the French would have had that too. Because the stuff that you guys found at the very best would have been from like 10 or 12 years ago when the ship was active. The combat vac suits that you guys got.
Right.
So because the ship was active like 10 years ago or something like that, you wouldn't necessarily have anything more recent than that for obvious reasons. And this has tech level, or excuse me, not tech, but armor protection of 12. I kind of want to make it 10 to represent the fact that it would be a generation older. Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
Even though the TL11 says it's 12 armor. Anyway, I'll go with armor protection 10 for anybody wearing that, and then maybe a little too much giving away some information here, but they don't have large caliber weapons. They have the same loadout basically that they had last time. Guys that you're going after. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay, I actually have in my notes too. Frank, Doctors Grimaldi, and Smith Daniels. All three of them are non-combatants.
Okay.
I know. Well, I'll put it this way. So Grimaldi says he can figure out how to use a gun, but he is not going to be an active shooter type person. He's more like he's gonna sit.
If it comes to it, right?
Yeah, no. Grimaldi will tell you repeatedly, "I will sit in here and shoot anybody that comes in. That is about as I'm good for."
Okay, so we'll put a submachine gun in his hand so we can put out just as many rounds as possible.
Yeah, literally spray and pray.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this. Let me pull up Llewellyn Station. Remember where it is. nifty floor plan.
And I'll grab everybody. So that's
There it is.
Wyatt, Hellwig, and me, I guess, is everybody, right? As far as leaving the Grindelborn goes.
All right. Here's what we'll do. Well, first thing, I'm going to lock this. Actually, before I do that, we don't need this guy anymore. Because we're going to go ahead and hand wave a little bit of time. So now you guys are... You're obviously not literally this close. You're like, let's say you stop, like... You could walk the distance in like 20 minutes if you want.
Yeah. So I also wanted everybody to have at least one flash and one smoke grenade. So I'll hand those out.
Where did my... Oh, there we go. What the hell? Why did... Hold on a second. Alright, well, fuck it.
And then as we get closer, I'm going to try to find some kind of vantage point within 500 meters of the station.
Right. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention to anything you just said. Give me like half a second here. I'm just getting finishing organizing what I want. All right. So, this is what. First off, this is what logistics module. I then forgot which one's which.
On the
Wasn't there a
right-hand side.
second one? Wasn't there a second floor plan page that had like which one's which? Or am I
No,
silly?
I think we marked. No, we marked it up ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
this.
wrote a
I mean,
bunch of
this does
notes.
look like logistics, though.
Yeah.
Because this, I know this one is the power.
Yeah.
And then these two are Hab, and then so this must be lab. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we know two of them are in logistics. But we also know. Oh, this is upper level. This is lower level. Okay.
Yep.
And access is here, and you go downstairs to. Okay, so we know there's two in logistics. We know there's two on guard outside somewhere. And there's two others, actual location unknown. But, you know, in theory, somewhere. We know we have... Let me see. Do I have... Grimaldi. Do I have others? No. Blaine. I guess I'm going to have to... That's obviously not really good. Mrs. Wyatt. Alright, Mrs. Wyatt, Tillman, Tran. Who else is up here? Gray, Reese. How many? Blaine, Wyatt, Gray, Tillman. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, I got everybody there. I just need to change all their. Alright, Mrs. Wyatt. Just these stats are not gonna be anything. Tillman.
Hopefully none of them will get shot.
Yeah. I totally didn't spell it. And
Well, the flashbangs aren't going to work on these guys either.
what makes you say that?
Because that one suit had that flash shielding on there.
That was the stats for that suit in the that was the well, it just said anti-dazzle. I imagine that means lasers can't be used to blind. I could be completely out of my mind on that.
I have no idea. Yeah.
I also feel like a flashbang would still have effect because you wouldn't necessarily be blinded, but you would be audibly concussed.
Right. Since we are in an atmosphere.
Yeah, there is atmosphere. Period.
So.
Yeah. It's just that you can't breathe it.
Right.
So
Okey-doke.
these guys are here. Me, you. They're all. I'm gonna put them in this little cubbyhole looking area right here, which I think is actually a stairwell.
It looks like a six-pack.
Well, that's because when you group items like
Yeah.
that, you can use the number keys to change the formation. Oh, he's in here. All right, and now I need you guys. So Spritz, Milligan, there's Wyatt,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna copy this guy just for.
So what's everybody else armed with?
That's a
I'm gonna
great
take
question.
one of them. I'm gonna
Wait,
take one of
shotgun
them
again?
nice rifles.
I'll take a
The
rifle.
FAA 73?
Yeah, whatever ones
Yep.
we just found. So
Okay. Yep, there's 8 of those. And plenty of ammo.
Did I still not save my fucking Pentapod token?
no.
God damn it. It's so fucking annoying. You'd think I'd remember to do this. Especially by now.
No.
Fuck me. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Figure out what you're gonna do here.
So I want to look. Of course, this weapon I have works best from a vantage point and a little distance. My range increment on this laser rifle is 500 meters, where a lot of those other things is going to be considerably less. I say to start with, let's look for some elevation and see if we can't get a better look about how things are laid out, and if we got them in range.
You
go to
guys have
town on
been
them.
on this station before, so you have like I don't want to say intimate familiarity with it, but you're definitely familiar with the layout and what, even if it's been a
Right.
few
Right.
weeks.
So there's the old dome and all that. How close was it to, like the one where I think you said they?
You talking about the communications dome?
No, I'm talking about the one where a dude was hiding out in. The crazy guy.
Oh
said
yeah.
You said
Jason
something
Strew or
about there
whatever.
was like the original construction equipment was under it
Oh,
or something like
that's
that.
like, for sake of argument, that's at least a few kilometers away.
Oh, okay. I thought it was right. Okay, never mind.
And also, I think if at some point, if you guys, I think in that particular adventure, if you guys had actually gone to take a look at it, by the time you got there, between the weather and Struer himself poking around in there, it would have lost its. Oh no, that's not important. It would have lost like its atmospheric integrity insofar as like it was safe inside for going suitless, like without a suit, but
Mhm.
between the weather and him poking around in there, getting in and out, like it lost it. But that's immaterial right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's a few kilometers away. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do this without opening Photoshop. Go ahead. You guys keep talking about what your plan is.
The
I'm trying to figure out.
Pentapod's back on the Grindleborn, so he really doesn't matter right now anyway, right?
Yeah. That really bothers me that I don't have a Pentapod token still. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, no. Keep going. I got this.
So I'm looking for a little bit of elevation within 500 meters of the station.
Well, but I mean, you're only gonna be able to see so much stuff because we're gonna have to be inside to get some of these people free.
But we're gonna have to take care of these people to get inside.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
There's bodies.
Those
there's
two right
bodies
there by
outside.
that airlock
Dell
are
said there was
not
two outside,
specifically.
yeah.
Those are not specifically right there. They're just outside somewhere.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
So I think we need to spend a few minutes watching them. I think we need to keep our eyes out around the periphery of the station to see if we pick up any of the ones that Dell says he doesn't know where they are.
What, try putting another egg in there? Oh,
And
sorry.
then-
Let me put. Yeah, sorry.
If they're falling apart, yes, put another egg in it. That's what you do.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, I think those all the
I got my
time.
token, by the way. I just realized what I needed to do. I'm stupid, and I'm saving it this time. Watch, I'll never need another fucking Pentapod ever.
Oh, we're taking Frank with us everywhere.
Okay. All right. I have tokens now, as needed.
All right.
All right. So you want to do some sort of observation from a distance, or not
Well-
distance, but like safe, undetectable area.
But see, the range increment on my rifle is 500 meters. So,
Which
yeah,
mean,
I
correct
wanna
me if I'm
be
wrong. 1,000 meters is when you start taking penalties for long range.
beyond that, I think.
That's
I don't know
what.
if you
Yeah,
have a
that's what.
plus-
That's what I mean. I think it's
yeah.
beyond.
Yeah.
I may also be getting that confused with Warhammer 40k because I recently did
Yeah.
some Warhammer 40k stuff.
So yeah, 500 meters is what I'm looking for, because that makes sure we're not in any kind of violation of range or anything like that.
Yeah, that should be the
Yeah.
the no modifiers, at least insofar as
Right.
range itself is concerned.
And that should also allow me to get on the other side of the station too, if I can see something and still not be a range penalty.
Yeah, so I'm imagining you guys are in this conversation like suited up minus helmets, and you've got
Yeah.
like Grimaldi's there with like a sketched out piece of paper with a rough idea of what Llewellyn Station looks like and in relation to where you guys are, and so you can literally plan your, I'll say ingress for lack of a better word at this point. While you guys are going through your conversation, Grendelborn, this is Dell. Come in.
Go ahead, Dell.
What is your status?
We are soon to begin an assault.
What do you need
Has
from
something
me?
changed?
What do you need from me?
Him on the comms in our suits, right?
I'm sorry?
Once we finish suiting up, we should be able to talk to him
Oh
through
yeah,
our suits,
yeah, you've
right?
definitely
Yeah.
got the range at this point. Ooh, I just kicked my cat
So
again.
I say when we open fire, we will let you know, and if you will secure the logistics module to trap those two individuals in there, or
I can do that.
There's something.
Will you also want me to play with the lights and perhaps produce weird sounds? Or do you think that will be disorienting for you as well?
That might be a little disorienting to us, but
Yeah.
as we enter, we can suspend that. I will say, if
Beginning
those
disorientation program now.
no, not yet, not until we
Ceasing
say.
disorientation program now.
If those individuals leave the logistics model, I definitely want you to lock them into the corridor. I want you to shut every other door and lock them into the corridor to keep them away from our people. If they don't leave the room, then I want you to lock them in there with them. So at least that way we know where they are. And then we can negotiate our way out of that.
I will lock the door as soon as you tell me that you're beginning your assault.
Okay.
I must remind you, there are 2 assailants I do not have positive location on.
We understand, and we will be looking for them.
There are 2 outside the front airlock, although they may have wandered some distance, but not more than 100 meters.
Right. And so we know of one that's dead because we found the crash lander. I'll tell him that.
Yes.
So that's
They
and he said
They
something about-
arrived. They arrived earlier today in the second lander. They failed to secure it to the landing pad, and when the storm hit this morning, it blew that lander away with one of the assailants, who I assume was looking for shelter from the storm.
Okay. All righty. We will let you know.
Standing by.
So do we find us a decent overlook?
I'll do this. You don't get an overlook necessarily, but you do get like a somewhere in this area. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Hold on. Somewhere in this area, maybe 100 meters distant, there is a raised rock-ish outcropping kind of, so you can kind of peek up over it. But between like blowing wind, which is kicking up snow and stuff, like it's not storming, but it's kicking up snow, which further occludes things. You can kind of peek up over this little ridge and see that one of these individuals is over here. One of these individuals over here, and they kind of look like they're doing some sort of circuit, walking around like this.
Yep.
And because, for the sake of argument, let's say everything from like over here, and then here, and then here is like there's some like hilly stuff, rocky stuff that's like almost as if the station was built into the side of a, not literally into the side of a mountain or whatever, but like impassable without climbing gear or descending down.
Yep. Okay. So I want to watch them for just a minute, see where they're at their furthest distance from the airlock itself. Just so,
Yeah,
just so
so
we
the
have
one
as
dude
much
is gonna,
time.
he'd probably go from here. He's gonna go here, and they really look like they're cold as fuck, and they're.
I bet they are.
Whoops. They have like you can almost see. You know how like when somebody's standing out in the weather and they're just miserable, they're hunched, their shoulders are hunched up around their neck. Even though they have gear that looks like it should be decent, like these both of these guys have the hunched over look, and they're moving slowly. They're looking around, but it doesn't look like they're doing any more than like the bare minimum of looking around. If that makes sense.
It does.
Like they're pulling security, but they definitely have either a certain lack of give a fuck or a certain lack of confidence in anybody actually coming out here.
Cool. Just I like it. All right, so there is a little bit more spooge I could apply here, but I'm not going to.
So what?
I can actually
Don't answer
I
that.
can actually use my rifle without being behind my rifle. I just have to have a hand on it.
Yeah,
because I'm jacked. Yeah,
Because it's
I'm
jacked up
because
stuff.
I'm jacked into it, and I can shoot it around.
But here's my
corners.
question: if you're suited, can you still have a wire?
Yep, it's got
You just have
ports
a
and
port
everything.
on the inside of the suit, and then
Yep,
on the
at the
outside of the
wrist.
suit. Oh my god, it's fucking
Yep.
disgusting.
I plug into the suit, and the suit, plugs into whatever I want to plug into.
Yep. All right, what's your plan? Because right now that's
All
where
right.
they're at, and they look like they're both starting about to start
So I'm
coming
gonna-
back inward.
I'm going to deploy my bipod, which gives me a little extra. And whichever one is, I have seems to be closest to the airlock. However many minor actions I can take to aim in any given round,
You
I
can
will take
aim
those.
and then shoot because
Yep.
That's 2 minor actions or whatever.
Those shoots are significant, but yeah.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, so like the
Yeah, I'm sorry. I definitely have Warhammer in my head.
Do you
Go
have
ahead.
3 minor actions around, or is it just one?
So if you decide not to take a major action, you get 3 minor actions.
Right.
Okay, that's what it is. All right.
And the major action is shooting.
Right. So I'm going to take a minor action to aim, and then I'm going to shoot. If we need to roll initiative, I get a +1 on initiative right now.
I'm just gonna say you guys have the first strike.
Okay.
We can call it surprise
sexy.
if you want, but you guys have the first strike.
And you said we're at 100 meters.
Yeah, roughly 100 meters from here. Let me do this.
So how does that fall?
Give me just a second. 1 second.
Okay. Let me look up the FAAs.
So you guys are here, and for the sake of argument, initially, that is 100 meters to the airlock. And so if that's 26, this guy is about a third of that. This guy over here is double that. So this guy on the right here is probably the closest, and he's at, let's say, 75 meters from you.
Okay.
Which would put it in, what was the range bracket for your weapon?
I was concerned about the FAA 73s. If they're in range for them too, then we might as well all.
It's assault rifle. I'm going to assume it's relatively same, but FAA 73. Oh, God, I have some timing to do.
No, that one may not be in the character book. I'm trying to find it real quick.
That's where I'm looking right now too.
Yeah, it may be in the other one.
F-19. Oh, that's machine guns. Auto guns.
Yeah, I think it's in
SMGs, pistols, handguns, close assault, Wolf, Model 10, Model 10 Raider. Might not be civilian weapons. Giscard FC-68, SG-77, Type 49. Giscard FC. M2 assault rifle. Those are surplus ones. Second 12 AS, the Type 81.
There it is. FAA 73. It's in the Tools for Frontier Living on 146.
Not that open
The
either.
range increment is 400 meters, so they're within
400?
range. Yep. So they're within
Jesus.
range for everybody,
Oh yeah.
and it's
Well,
got auto 2.
correct me if I'm wrong. Warhammer is half that is short range. Is it the same for Traveler off the top of your head? I
That's a
want to say it
Wiggles
is.
question.
So short range is a quarter of your weapons
Quarter.
range.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I was thinking it was half, but then I was like, is it half or is it quarter? All right, so 400
quarter.
meters. Yeah, so even this guy over here is, we're gonna say for the sake of argument, he is 100 meters. He is 75. We'll call this 90.
So I'll shoot at the 100-meter guy, and I'll have
Yeah.
the two of them shoot at the other one.
All right.
And you got auto 2 to work with there.
Auto 2. What? Help me out. Goddamn.
So you
Auto
can
2
use
is
it
you
in.
can fire 2 rounds in auto mode. It's
Okay.
2 attacks, or it's a burst
Yep.
plus 2 damage.
Yep.
Mhm.
The brain is working, guys. That was
And if
awesome.
you use the auto mode, you can't aim.
Correct.
Right.
But he's aiming.
But you can with the burst, but you only get a small bonus to damage, but it helps punch through armor.
I was gonna say I'll give you the bonus. Well, no, that wouldn't work because you just add you add the auto to the damage. Because it's burst. If it's full auto, then you get separate attacks equal to the number
Yep.
of auto. So auto 2 will give you a +2 to damage. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
right.
I'm gonna give you. Let me hold before you roll that. Sorry. We'll use the number you rolled, but I want to double check my notes.
Okay.
Make sure. Because I know I have some DMs I threw in here. Okay, no.
Creek's letting us get into his DMs.
Nope, no DMs for you guys. So range, Jesus Christ, I don't have that one open. Short range. I want to
I'm
say
in
it's a
short
plus.
range. Does that give me another bonus?
I feel like that's a +2 or +4.
Okay. And that's
Short
like
range is +1.
+1. Okay.
Okay. Then that's a.
I've got so many
11, I
different.
think.
I've
Yeah.
got like BattleTech numbers now roaming around in my head. Let's see. So, but you rolled an 8, so obviously you
Right.
hit them. But your
I've got
effect is
one
also
rifle.
your effect is going to be what's your
That's at least
rifle
an
skill
11.
and your dex skill?
It's 1. My rifle's 1. My dex is 0. I had a question of whether or not, since I'm jacked, it's dex or
Ooh,
intellect.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, we'll go with
Yeah.
intelligence then. Because
Okay.
you're
Then
wired
that's a
in.
12. Yeah.
So you rolled a
So I get-
12?
Yeah, I get +1 for my neural link. I get +1 because I'm using my bipod. I get +1 for my skill, and then +1 for my intellect. So
And then
yeah,
+1 for your
that's 12.
range.
Oh yeah,
So it's 13.
Yep.
So that's +5 for effect, plus
Yep.
7 total with your burst. What's the?
No, I don't. Mine's single shot.
Oh, single shot. Okay, never mind.
It's just
So
a
plus
big old
5?
scorching shot. Yeah.
Yeah, +5 damage so far. What is the damage on your weapon? And what's the pen? Armor
18
penetration.
plus 5, so that's 23. It has no additional AP, I don't think.
I don't remember if yours did or not.
I don't think it does, and it isn't. Actually,
These guys have +6, so 23. Did you have armor pen?
I don't think it does. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think a laser does.
Oh, wait.
Let me take a real quick look here.
Yeah, because right now you're looking at 17 damage.
Yeah, none of these other lasers I'm looking at right off the top of my head have any AP to them, and it's in the other book, not this one.
Of course.
I
have so many books
only
open right
plasma
now,
weapons.
too.
Yeah, only plasma weapons have an AP, I think, as far as energy stuff goes.
Okay, I can live with that.
So
So
still, that's 23 points of damage.
yeah,
so.
so that's
that's not bad.
23 minus his armor of 6 is 17 damage.
Yep.
That's gonna wipe out. He's unconscious.
Yep, at least.
Oh yeah. No, he is unconscious. You shot this guy here, right? The one.
Yep. And they're going to
Okay.
shoot at the closer one.
Yep. Give me a second, because now I got to change his. So that's 0 and that's 6. Yep, he's unconscious. If you mouse over them, you'll see I have the UNC in parentheses on there. All right, who's next? Shooting at this guy. Wyatt, Hellwig.
I guess I will go after that guy.
All
If I
right,
can.
he is 75 meters from you,
75 meters.
which will probably give you a +1 depending what you're shooting with.
I probably have one of those assault rifles that
Okay.
I lusted over.
Yep.
I'm gonna move a little bit
That's fine.
and then take a shot.
Are you aiming?
I am taking an aim. Yeah.
So that's +2.
Okay.
What's your rifle
So-
and deck skills?
Give me a second. It's a 0 for rifle, and my dex is a +1.
Okay, for clarity, it's a 0, not a -3, correct?
Yes, 0.
Okay, so you have a total +3
Maybe-
then?
Yeah, because I have a slug pistol at 2, so all my other gun combat is a 0.
Okay. All right, so dex is 1, range is 1, aiming is 1, so I'm counting a +3 total bonus.
Yes,
Alright.
sir.
Make your roll against an 8. Single shot, yeah?
Yeah, single shot. That'd be
That
a
is
4.
a miss.
That's all right.
That is a miss.
Yep.
This guy, oh shit, Wyatt. What are you doing? Are you shooting? Wiggles?
Yeah, I'm shooting.
All right.
So this guy's
You
still
gonna go-
around?
Yeah, he
You're
is
gonna go
up.
full auto or what?
Yeah, I'll move to be abreast of Hellwig.
He just wanted to say abreast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being a
Giggity.
smart ass.
Giggity,
No,
giggity.
I'm using
That's
it
right.
properly. I'm beside him. That means
No,
I'm
I know.
abreast.
I know.
And I'll put the selector switch down to full auto, and I'm gonna light this motherfucker up.
All right. So +1 for range. What is your rifle and deck skills?
I don't know. I have a character sheet. It holds that information for me.
Yeah, I don't know either because I didn't open it.
+1.
+1 between the two of them.
Yeah, so a +1 for each attack. So I'm gonna roll because I'm doing full auto. That means I attack twice.
Clarifying, you
2d6.
should have a +2 because of range.
Yep.
+1
+1
range.
due to range.
+1.
+1 for my skill.
Okay, got it. All right, so +2 attacking twice. I believe these had auto 2. These
Yeah.
French assault rifles. That is a
And that's a hit. Yay!
That
What's
is a
the
hit.
damage on these things? Is it 3d6?
It's 3D plus 3.
All right. So for
12.
for 15 damage.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. 15 minus 6 is 9.
Yeah, the second one's not going to penetrate.
Okay. And the second
And
one.
then my second shot, I attack all the ghosts around him.
I mean, I feel like it would hit
It
him.
just didn't go through.
Yeah, I hit it. I feel like he gets hit, and you see the sparks, but it doesn't really have much an effect. And he is going to shoot back, and because you shot with an auto, full auto, he is
Mhm.
firing at Mr. Wyatt, and he is firing on burst.
Okay.
He has plus.
I'm going to use a reaction, and I'm
three.
going to run away.
You're gonna
Uh,
go
Duck
prone.
down behind your cover. We're undercover,
Yeah.
so you can just duck down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
So
plus
that gives
3.
a
Go ahead.
that gives a -2 to him when attacking. I get a -2.
Say that one more time. I missed part of that. Sorry.
When you use you can use infinite reactions. Each reaction you use is a further -2 to your roll, and then it should you'll get the -1 or -2 to the guy shooting.
Okay. And what did you do? You basically just dropped down, right? Behind the
Yeah, more or
behind
less.
cover.
Yeah, no, I try to break line of sight or
Yeah.
combat dodge roll.
Okay. I think I'm gonna hand wave a little bit of that, and I'm just gonna go with a flat roll against an 8, no modifiers. See if he catches you.
Wow.
Oh, he barely catches you too.
No, that's not fair. That's not how this works.
And that's how it works.
Let's see. Damage 3 dice. Let's see.
Well, I had fun with this character.
Well, I mean, you got 10 points of armor protection, so
Oof. Okay, so that's 13 plus nothing from the effect.
nothing.
13.
Yep.
He is firing burst, so that's going to be a +4, so 17. 17 minus your armor, please.
So that's 7 points of damage.
Sure.
Ouch.
Wow.
He manages to catch you. Mostly because, and I realize this combat takes place all, simultaneously, but I feel like he gets pinged pretty good from, or he doesn't get hit, he gets shot at by Hellwig, and by the time he turns, he's getting pelted by Wyatt, and he's like, fuck you! And he manages to actually clip you before you drop back down.
Ow. That almost took out all my endurance.
Endurance is the dump stat, only because you want to stay alive.
Yeah, no, I had
Literally
endurance
dump
at
all your
8.
points in endurance is what I'm trying to say, not forget
Yeah.
it. Okay.
I had endurance 8, now it's 1.
Well,
So
fortunately,
I will
that'll
tell
come back
Dell to
with some
lock
good
it down.
sleep. That'll come back with some good sleep. Yeah, Dell, it will come back with understood. Logistics lab, or
Okay.
excuse me, logistics module is now fully secured. And then he comes back a minute later. Well, not a minute, literally, but like a second or two later. I recommend hurrying. It looks like Blaine. Oh, shit. Disregard that. I need to make a roll. Okay. It's 1. Give me. Oop. Blindfolded myself for some reason. Okay. I'm gonna put that. Actually. Oops.
I mean, that's the best way to say, like, oh, it's not my fault. I was blindfolded when I made the roll.
Yeah. No, I'm keeping track of something. Okay. It is now initiative. I'm not gonna roll initiative. Well, let me rephrase that. Let me
That requires
rephrase
writing
that.
down numbers and shit, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Actually, no. You know what I will do? Here. So Hellwig, Wyatt, Milligan. Bad guy 1. Or just the bad guys. That's what I'm gonna do. And then so, alright, first one we have. This one is red. This one is white. This one is blue. So original. And then these two. Alright. So, nope, that's wrong. Okay. Alright, red, white, and blue match up with your guys' colors. Black is the bad guys themselves, and then green for your friends inside. That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. What I need is initiatives. Initiative is 2d6 plus what in Traveler? I'm getting
Dex or
Warhammer.
intelligence.
Dex or intelligence, and that's player's choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whichever gives us the better score.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should probably pick the better score, but,
I
maybe
mean,
you're
you
throwing
don't have to.
15.
You don't have to. Wiggles, was that that 6 that you rolled? Is that your initiative?
Yeah, that's my initiative.
All right, and then Milligan, what do you got? 5 plus what?
7. That's
7?
a 7. Yep.
8.
8. That's a 9.
Yeah, so that's gonna be yep, it's gonna be like this. Blue, white, red, and then I need to roll this plus. I'm not adding the
Okay.
full number, I'm adding the modifier I get from it, correct?
Yep.
Oh, well that doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna use, I think I have Blaine over here somewhere. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
And-
yeah, blind.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Charles is. Here we go. Hang
Thank
on
them in the dark.
1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I want to get these organized. Okay. I want them in the right order. I don't think that did it. And blue. Oh, cool. Oh, Rev, thanks for the sub. I don't need friends at the Shield. I think these guys are gonna need some friends because there's about to be some shooting going on.
We need a shield.
Yeah, they need a shield. Oh my god. I think is that right? That looks right. I think that's right. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright. Blue. That's Charles. Charles, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna see that he put rounds into Wyatt, and
Yeah, Wyatt's probably over there pissing and moaning about. Damn it! That was my good suit.
right. And I'm going to look at the look at the guy and just take another aim shot.
+1/+1. That's +2.
Yep. And then let's see, big money. No, Miami, stop. 7
And then your rifle and dex was a total of +1.
+1. Yeah.
So you have a +3 total, so that's
Range.
10. Single shot, so it's +2 to damage. Go ahead and roll damage.
3 dice.
Yep. 3 dice plus 5 in this case.
Oh, that would be
3 plus
16.
5?
Well, it's already +3. It's 3d plus 3 normally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then his effect was
+2 from his effect.
+2.
So
right.
Yeah, that's 16 damage. That is going to. Well, first off, I fucked this up when I wrote his shit, but that's okay. That's out. And then, your shot, you see this happen pretty much. We'll just say it's something similar to slow motion. Your aim shot and the way he moves after he shoots up Wyatt manages to line things up in a perfect storm of a headshot, and the bullet disintegrates his faceplate, and then his head just mushes, and the bullet passes out through the backside, and he falls over dead. Blood all over the snow.
That works.
Good shot.
Yep.
You can throw up now if you want.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna look over at Wyatt and go, and that's how it's done. More time at the range.
Fuck you! I got shot.
And I'm just gonna point and laugh.
I asked Wyatt if he can move.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't really don't. I don't. No, I don't. I don't want to. I'm. You know, this is a perfectly good piece of snow I'm on.
Well, I'm gonna cover y'all unless you want to lay out here in the snow. Your suit is self-sealing anyway, so for small rounds like that. So I'm gonna cover them while they run to the airlock.
Feel small.
At this moment, Wyatt's like, but have you been shot to know what this feels like?
But did you die?
But have you been shot? Is what Wyatt is gonna go back.
Wyatt will get back onto his feet, and he'll definitely have a limp and yeah, no, he's not doing too hot.
So I'm gonna cover them while they
like the Half-Life 2 suit sounds, administering morphine. A massive physical lacerations. Dumbass.
And it calls, you've been shot. Dumbass. Administering morphine. You need to sit the fuck down. Alright. White is Milligan.
Yep, I'm going to cover them while they move to the airlock, and then when they're in the airlock, they'll do their best, I guess, to cover me while I run to the airlock. But I'm looking at corners and stuff to see if those other two guys. I know you just parked them back there out of the way, but I mean that's the
Yeah,
obvious place they
they're
might
out.
be
You
is
don't
out of
know.
sight. So
Here, let me.
right.
Yeah, you don't
So
know.
I'm not just scanning. I'm scanning all around, but I'm doing my best to look, to see if they pop their heads back up. I don't know if they even could have heard that with suits on. I don't know. So I know they didn't hear mine,
Yeah,
but
no. Okay. So the atmosphere. What is the atmosphere? I'm
methane
sure I've been
and
told this before. What is the atmosphere
something.
of Grindel?
Icky. It's absolute
Yeah.
icky.
It's the
It will
scariest
kill you.
place
It will
in
kill
the
you.
solar system.
Right.
It's just-
But I'm asking, is it like really thick? I mean, like, is it like double C thick?
No, it's equivalent to about Earth atmospheric pressure. It might be a little bit thicker, like 1.2 at most, but it's not the pressure that'll kill you. It's the composition.
hazardous
Composition. Yeah.
chemicals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the atmosphere pressure and the atmospheric pressure is like about the same, then the sound wave should propagate more or less the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
loud.
So
Yeah.
they probably did hear y'all.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
they definitely heard some shots.
right.
I'm just not gonna tell you what exactly
They
they're gonna
also
do yet.
definitely saw their guy's lifeline go from fine dead.
Yeah. Okay, so Milligan is in Overwatch.
Yep.
That takes it.
That good for you, Melican.
Yep. That means it is now Hellwig's turn. Hellwig, what are you doing?
Okay. I guess I'm gonna pick up Wyatt and can you walk? Are you capable
Yeah.
of moving?
I can walk.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm gonna feel this for the next decade.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna just and then I'm gonna say we need to get to the airlock like now, and then run and kind of grab him, drag him to the airlock.
Yeah. Thank you, Alec. And
80 meters to the airlock, but I'm not going to be a stickler for movement distance, so I figure one round to get there, one round, to make it most of the way, and then another round to get into the actual airlock.
Right.
Ugh.
So you and what's his face are moving up.
Wyatt. Yep.
Yeah, I meant Wyatt. I just couldn't think of his name fast enough. So
That's okay.
I'll put you there. Oops. This.
And I let Dell know 2 are down.
Oh, the 2 of the assailants are down?
Yep. So that he can help me keep count.
Yeah. He can help you keep count.
That's right.
That would be helpful. Definitely.
Yeah, Dell comes back and he's like, yeah, okay, so 2 are down.
How many tangos are left, Del?
2.
2 that he knows
2
of,
in the
and 2
logistics
that are
module,
unaccounted
2
for.
correction. Let me double check. Yep, it's my turn. Nope. Yeah, it is my turn. Because Wyatt, you moved with I'm sorry. Yeah, Wyatt, you moved with Hellwig, right?
With Hellwig. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I can go ahead and change yours. And then, yeah. Dell starts to say, 2 in the logistics module. I'm not sure where. Oh, correction. Nope, found them. Power module coming out into the corridor.
Okay.
They are. I'm putting them here for my memory's sake. You obviously can't see them right there, but he is saying that they are in the power module. So you have an idea of roughly that they're somewhere in here. And he did specify that they're coming into coming out of the power module. So yeah, that takes it back to he says anybody doesn't matter who, need a 2d6 8+, no mods. All right, thank you. Blue, that's Charles. You're up.
Okay. I'm gonna run towards the airlock some more.
Okay.
And basically end up being right there.
Okay. Are you going to? I will say this: you can start cycling the airlock, and by the end of this round, it will cycle clean so that it can open. And on the next round, it can open, allow people in, close it. I don't know if I'm breaking that down too far.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. So if you want to start cycling it, you can. It just
Yep.
won't be ready to start cycling again until the end of next round. That takes us to Milligan. Your go, sir.
Okay. And Wyatt's still halfway in between.
Roughly.
Okay.
You could probably move up
I'm
now
gonna-
if you wanted to. Or you could stay in cover.
I will move up to Wyatt.
Yeah, because once what's his name is at the airlock, it's
Yep.
it's not so much
We wanna
immaterial
end
for you
it
to stay
together.
there, but
Yeah.
all right, go ahead and move yourself up.
Oh. What's that mean?
Yep. And then Wyatt, you're moving up to the airlock. Or are you gonna do some do-si-do? What are you gonna do? All right.
I'm gonna move up to the airlock.
Right.
1 moment.
And
then I'm gonna ask the AI. That's who we've been talking to, right? The station's
Dell.
AI.
Yeah. Dell.
Hey, Dell. Switch the airlock to an open cycle, so so it doesn't repressurize when we open the door.
So you want to just leave it so you can just come in and out as much as you want without regard to.
Yeah, and yeah. So there's not much of a pressure differential, so they're not gonna get like sucked in or anything like that.
But what it will do, and Dell will actually come back with what that will do is it'll flood the hallway with Grendel atmosphere. Is that your intent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seal all the other doors and flood the hallway.
Done.
Okay.
I need a 2d6 8+. Helwig and Wyatt, you can see through the airlock that the bad guys are on the other side of the airlock door.
Oh.
All right,
They have
take
exited.
out my axe and I chop off their heads.
Nope.
Don't
The
forget the
solid ass
flashbang.
door is still in between you.
Yeah.
Not my new character's axe cop. I got this.
But
Charles, you're up.
okay. So we can see them through the window.
Yeah, and you could see they're definitely waiting for you to come in.
Oh, this is gonna be ugly. You know what? Well, what? Are they wearing suits?
Yeah, they're suited up.
Damn it!
They're wearing the
Alright.
same. They're wearing the same vac suit dealie that the other two were wearing. That
Okay.
effectively. All right, so I forgot to give them their actual combat vac suit type deal. So basically, it's the same stats as they had before, but they're wearing a vac suit. It just doesn't give them
Okay.
any additional protection. Which now makes sense why the one dude had his vest on without his pouches underneath the vac suit. The one you found out in the woods. Not the woods.
Right.
Out in the whatevers.
Right. So I guess I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna
I'm gonna look at
you're,
Wyatt.
you're gonna have to breach or something, man.
Yeah.
And they're not dumb.
Flashbang.
They're gonna sit there and wait for you to come in.
Wait. And we had those. Oh man, I should have grabbed some of those grenades. Yeah, I'm just.
I gave everybody.
Yeah, you all have a
one
flash. Each of you has a flash and a smoke. I thought that's
Yep.
what he
Oh,
said.
okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, I'm gonna open up the door because we don't have to pressurize.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna toss a flash in there.
Okay. Make a standard attack roll and this roll is to make sure that you crack the door open enough to get the flash in, and then effectively close the door so you don't fuck yourself up or get shot by the other ones. So this would be just a flat 8+.
Okay.
I'll tell you, add your dex to it.
Okay.
Never mind. You don't even fuck. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say I have explosives, so that would add another one to that. So that'd be a 14.
Yeah, these guys are okay. Hold on.
Bedazzled.
They are definitely something. Oops. I don't need that. Alright. These guys have 3 rounds of disorientation. I'm not sure what the Traveler says. I'm hand waving it. 1d6 rounds of disorientation from that stun.
Right.
Which will give them a minimum of a -2 DM to their rolls. Well, let me rephrase that. The first round they're inactive. They can't do anything.
I like this him.
Second and third rounds they'll have -2 DMs.
Okay.
So Helwig, you did that, and that takes us to who's blue? Or
I like it.
hey, Wiggles, you're not muted.
Hot mic.
Okay.
Wiggles,
I
Wiggles, Wiggles, Wiggles. God, that must be
I
another.
think he's out of his seat.
He must be.
So I'll have a lot less road.
Who's white? That's
That's me.
Thurgor. I mean Milligan. Milligan, move up.
Yep.
Are you doing anything else? You watched Helwig pop a flashbang in there, so if you want, I'll argue that you have enough movement in this turn to actually enter the room and start shooting if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But you do have your sniper rifle unless you switched.
No,
Like a
I still have
pistol
the
or something.
sniper rifle. The only thing that's going to lose me is a +1 with my bipod. So,
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So +1 short, +1 rifle. What's your
+1
dex?
short, +1 rifle, +1 int, +1 neural link. So that's 4.
I mean,
Go ahead.
he has like a whole extra die now at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So +4 total is what I'm hearing?
Yep. So 13.
That's a 12, 11, 13 rather. So
Yep.
roll your damage with +4. Single shot, yeah?
Yep.
All right,
It's
which
always
one,
single
real
shot
quick,
on this
which one
one.
of these two are you shooting? I mean, just
Whoever's closest, it doesn't matter.
they're effectively adjacent to each other. You
good
can
on.
press tab to
Take
drop
the
the
guy on
little
the
arrow
left.
thingy. So you can just designate, or just do left or right. Tell me which one.
The left one. He's
Okay.
closer to jumping back out of the way. So
Well, they both are. Whatever. Roll your
Yeah.
damage. Plus, what did I say?
5. right?
You rolled 13, so that's 4.
Ooh.
23
Dang.
is what it looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
23 minus 6 is 17. I think this guy is about to.
Is at least unconscious, if not dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be asleep. So, what did I say? 23
That's right, Timmy.
minus 6 is.
He's
17.
sleeping.
And I'm just filming away at the action movie here.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is definitely.
My eyeball is sparkling.
He's definitely unconscious. He takes a shot from you at like close range and almost.
This isn't the round that they're completely out of it.
Yeah, this is the round they're completely out of it. He
Okay.
doesn't
He
even
just
have a
reflex-
chance. He
Yeah.
doesn't even have a chance to like react. He's like, what the fuck? Bah! He gets shot, knocked onto his ass, hits his head really hard on the ground or on the deck. Who's next? Red is Wyatt. Wyatt, your turn.
Yay!
We have a
I will
breach.
get in the airlock if there's also room.
There is. You can, but you'll have to go abreast again.
Okay, that's fine. You're the one who's a perv who thinks it's nasty, so that's fine with me.
I mean, I am a perv, but I don't think it's nasty. It's funny.
All right, I'm gonna go full on again because that worked really well for me last time.
I don't remember numbers very well. What's your total mod? 6.
2, so I got an 8.
All right, no effect. Oh wait, that's 8 for the first round. So go ahead and roll your
Yeah.
3D something.
It's 3d3 base.
3D6.
So
No
14 damage.
Okay, 14. That is. Hold on, don't get crazy. Don't get ahead of me. He is barely standing.
Mhm.
Oh, I forgot. Shit. What's the total damage on that? 11,
14.
14.
So he took 8.
Yeah, he took 8, not the other number. Okay, that's right. And then this one is 6 plus 3 is... Oh, that was the attack. 12
And
plus
that
3
guy
is
takes
15.
15.
15 minus 6 is 9.
He's fucked.
And he is unconscious as well.
All right. So as soon as I see the last one hit the ground, I'm like, get him out of here immediately. The bodies.
1 second.
No, let the
One
bodies
second,
hit
one
the
second.
floor.
1 second. 1 second. Before you do that.
Yeah.
Hey, on the bright side, we have a lot more trade goods with the Pendapods.
I need a 2d6 A plus. No mods.
I made the last one. Who wants to go?
I got it.
Okay.
I keep rolling 7s. I don't know what that's about, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's the average.
I'm trying to make the point.
Yep. I don't need that anymore.
Hmm.
All right. We're back to the top of the order. Hellwig, you're up.
Hellwig. All right. So
I have
is
to,
one dude
as a reminder, just for clarity's sake, as a reminder, if you pop this door, it
Yep.
will flood the inside of this chamber
Yep.
with Grendelsphere instead
Yep.
of standard atmosphere, which is what's inside there right now. And as far as you know, nobody is
Okay.
suited.
Okay. I'm gonna just tell Dell that again. There's 2 more are down. How many left?
Let me find my Dell voice. Acknowledged. 2 in logistics. There is a scuffle going on at the moment. I would hurry. Also, I would close the airlock and clean out the air before you change rooms.
All right. So yeah, I'll is Milligan inside with us now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think at this
I'll,
point he would be.
yeah, I'll close the airlock and tell him
I'm
to
gonna
cycle the
scoot you
airlock.
guys up.
No. I say no. That's. I
Wait,
said,
what?
we got to get the body. We got to get the bodies out of here. Remember the ones at the restaurant?
Oh,
the
yeah,
boomies.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
get them
Ooh.
out.
So
All right.
So
So
I'll
all
grab
right.
one.
Hold on.
Hellwig
Hold
can
on.
grab the other. Yep.
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. All 3 of you are gonna work on this task. I'm assuming.
yeah.
Because I imagine at the very least, it would be the smart thing is that one person. Here, let me set this up really quick. I imagine one person like this, keeping a gun pointed down this way, and the other 2 remove the 2 bodies, just in case these 2
I
pop out.
volunteer for that because I got shot and I'm not gonna carry shit on a bad leg.
That's a fair
Okay.
point. All right. So what I recommend, or what I'll do then, is I will up the round count. Oops.
And I'm also while I'm doing, I'm gonna ask Dell to increase the quarter here for positive pressure, so that way it pushes the Grundle air out.
Okay. I need
Yeah,
another.
yeah.
I got you. Give me one
Yeah.
sec.
So the facility here is at roughly 1 atmosphere of pressure, right?
Yeah.
So if we drain air from the other sections, we can increase the atmospheric pressure inside the tunnel here to
Yep.
be over 1, and that'll
Which
just
is
push the
more than
Grundle air out.
outside, which will force the air out. Yep.
Mhm.
I
That's
got
just
you.
something we do in real life for labs and whatnot. Positive air pressure to
They do
keep
that at
like
grocery
shit out.
stores to keep bugs out.
Yeah.
That's why when you walk into grocery stores, you get that gust of air. That's why, because they keep the pressure inside slightly higher than outside. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. So yeah, we definitely have that positive pressure inside, and we have these bodies outside. Not quite like that, but there'd probably be something wrong.
No, not that close. Nope.
Oh,
No, we don't want to fuck up the garage.
And then I need a 2d6 8+, no mods.
All right, so this is the kill my wife roll. All right, Mel,
I think
your
it's
turn. Kill my wife.
I think it's about Blaine getting spicy in there.
Right? Arguing about what's canon in Fallout.
Somebody gonna roll this? I'm waiting.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. I hadn't rolled one of those
Well,
yet.
it sounded like Wiggles was gonna do it, so I wasn't.
Hey, look at that. I don't know if that's good or not, but there's a 9.
All right. So we are back at the top of the order. It is Charles. Actually, one sec. We're gonna be cutting it. We might go a little bit long. I think we can finish this up pretty quick though, or relatively quick. All right.
Right.
Charles, you're up. The air inside the tunnel or the main hallway is standard atmosphere, which is the same in here.
Okay.
Slightly higher pressure in here.
Yep. So we'll seal it off and let it.
Yeah, this is
equalize
closed.
now.
Yeah, this is closed.
All right. Then I'm gonna run. I mean, obviously there's nothing at these other spots, so I'm gonna run down to this door and kind of start stacking up.
Okay. You're gonna. All right. So that's all you're gonna do is you're just gonna move and wait for the other ones.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Milligan, you're up.
Yep. So I'm gonna move up there too, and I look at Fritz and I'm like, who's gonna negotiate?
Negotiate hell. They're terrorists.
Hell,
Well,
I got
I understand
flashbangs. We
that.
don't need to negotiate shit.
I'm not saying that negotiating ain't gonna end the same way no matter what, but we at least have to get our people safe.
Well, I'm not. No, I'm with you. I guess. Well, hang on.
Flashbang them again. I mean, that's not gonna physically harm anybody inside.
I mean, that would be
I
your best
could
bet. Is
try
to
it.
flashbang the fuck out of them. Maybe throw 2 in there just for shits and giggles.
I could. I got some deception capabilities and some, you know, professional courtesies and things, so I could tell them what's what. But I don't know how well that's going to work.
Well, I mean, you can tell them their ship's destroyed, our ship is secured. They're not getting off of this planet without us,
Right.
and they'll die here over the winter. So they can either lay their arms down and come out, and then we'll kill them, or you know, we can do it the hard way. And
Okay,
Right.
we'll be
so
going
just so
home.
I understand, stealing the missile rockets was a step too far, but bloodthirsty killing these people, that's okay.
Okay, they're holding your wife at gunpoint.
I'm just trying to figure out what the moral line is for our group. Stealing missiles bad, execution murders are fine.
They're walking time bombs. So
If you,
let's just
Right.
be a little honest
Exactly.
about that for a
I
second.
don't want that on the ship. Right. They're not getting on the ship with us, period. But let's get them out of the room and away from our people.
All right.
Yep. And then we
Okay,
can
so
shoot 'em.
I'll go.
All right, hold on, because it's still all right. So that was Milligan's turn, and that probably went slightly longer than a
Okay.
1 round's worth of brief
6 minutes,
conversation
yeah,
would be.
or 6 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but Wyatt, your go. What are you doing?
What am I gonna do?
That is the question.
There's no cameras or anything inside that we can like peek at anything like that, or
Well, Dell's
Grendel
got the lights out.
Grendel
Yeah.
has warned that there is a scuffle going on inside. He has killed Light. He hasn't gone with the sound option. You guys wouldn't let him. Yeah, that's about it. It's pretty dark inside, unless you guys want to use your flashlights on your suits or whatever. But of course, that makes you a bigger target.
Right.
all right, no, fuck it, whatever. I'm supposedly the person in charge here. I'll just start fucking talking to these assholes. Hey, Dell, link me into the room to the room's overcom.
Link established, and then all you hear is the sounds of "ow, fuck, oh, the sounds of people getting hit, and like there's a legit scuffle going on.
All right.
It's
So
not a
I'm-
scuffle; it's a
They're
fist
trying
fight.
to take this facility. They're still alive. Yes, the two that are still alive. Your L10 got crushed in the storm. You cannot leave. The rest of your comments are not outside on the snow. If you do not wish to meet them, you will lay down your arms and you will surrender, and maybe we'll take you back to Beowulf.
Roll 2d6. No mods.
Yeah.
No mods.
I discovered my balls. I'm glad not.
You
I'm
had to
glad
get
I didn't
shot.
shot off.
You had to get shot first. That's why. Yeah, 2d.
All right, TD6.
2 dice.
TD6.
No
All right.
mods.
Nope. I think I have like social skills of that
Enough.
matters, but yeah.
All right, here's what happens. You
Hey, shoot my wife.
no, you go through your bit of your ship is fucked, your buddies are fucked, one of them's actually dead. They're all out in the snow, stop screwing around, come out here and talk to us, whatever. And then after a moment, all you hear is the scuffling. But by the time you stop talking and wait for to see what their response is, the scuffle sound dies down and then stops. And then the door opens. And standing in the doorway, blood just running down the side of her head from what looks like an actively bleeding open cut, is Kirsty Blaine. Hey guys, nice of you to make it here finally. And then she spits on the ground. It's like a tooth and a bunch of blood and shit come out of her mouth. Fuck.
Well, we didn't expect to have to gun ho at home.
I'm just gonna look at her and go, "You let this happen.
I let this happen." Hold on.
You let this
Hold
happen."
on. Let me collect myself.
She was in charge of security, and she let the bad guys in.
Oh man, that was fucking awesome. Jesus Christ.
And then George White.
I
in
love.
dramatic
This is
fashion
what
will
I want to
then
tell
just
you. What I
pass out.
heard there. I want to tell you what I heard there. I heard. What the hell happened there? What'd you guys do to my
I
Did I do
shit?
that?
swore the damn thing
I might have-
moved.
It's locked. It's not locked. Fuck.
It's not locked.
All right. There.
Oh my gosh! What the?
I controlled Z'd it.
I
It
see.
is
Hold
locked.
on.
Somebody
I had
unlocked
a
it.
Doctor Strange moment. I saw so many dimensions.
Okay, so this is what happens.
It's-
Or this is what I heard when you're like, you let this happen. I heard you let this happen because you were bored and you needed a fight and got fucked up, and then when we got here to rescue your ass, then you made it a real fight. Or something along those lines. That's what I heard. This is what happens. Blaine takes a few moments as she collects herself and her breath. It explains that let me see, where's my notes? Where's it say it? Did I not actually give a bit of a background as to what happened?
Probably not.
I might not have. So effectively what happened, oh, here we go. Wait. Effectively what happened is that these fuckers came in and they didn't have any prep time and they were out, doing like some sort of like patchwork or whatever on one of the modules cuz maybe it's storm damage or something like that, right? And while they were out doing that is when the Black Watch fuckers arrived. And they came in and they basically were like just gung ho as fuck. And of course they were unprepared. Even Blaine, who had been trying to pull security nearby, she actually she shows you at one point. She's got a bit of a graze to her left shoulder where she got shot, and she kind of gives she pantomimes what happens. She motions with one hand that she got shot in the shoulder. Then she does that whole slow roll to the left to indicate that when she got hit, she rolled with it. She fell over, but by the time she was able to try to get back up, they were already on top of her. And so she kind of surrendered. So yeah, I guess in a way, and she even says it with finger quotes, I let this happen. And she definitely throws some snark in there. And then, but also Tillman was shot in the gut. But fortunately, Tran and Blaine were able to treat him. So he's fine for the most part. Apparently it wasn't as bad as a gut shot sounds. Which is pretty fucking bad, but somehow it's not that bad. Obviously, once you guys started shooting, Blaine attacked. Charles, on military-style cots, you have that one, or the two cross pieces that are a bitch and a half to get mounted.
Yep.
Yeah, so she has one of those, which is a horrible clubbing weapon, but she has something very similar to that that she used to beat the shit out of one of the guards, and then literally got into a bit of a fist fight with the other one, while the rest of the group kind of hung in the back to keep out of the way / not get fucked up.
Right. I mean, I'm just gonna look at her after this and just where's your gun? Club, improvise, great job. Everything else, time to go.
Yeah.
George passes out.
So I
Oh,
step
wait.
forward, grab one of these guys by the vac suit collar, and start dragging him to the airlock.
Yeah, these two inside, by the way, don't have helmets on. They have their vaccines on, but no helmets.
All the better.
Are you going to kill them?
But they're unconscious, right?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to turn my eye off, and I'm going to grab him by the collar, and we're going to take them to the airlock.
All right, yeah.
And we're gonna put them out in the yard again because I don't want any.
They're dead within moments. I don't know how long it would.
So.
3 minutes without oxygen and you're brain dead, effectively.
Yeah. Somewhere on there, yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
just
they're
don't
dead
want any holes
shortly.
in the station. So yeah.
Yeah. No.
So let's get them out of here.
Yep. And that's where we're gonna stop there. With you guys effectively having just retaken the station and securing your people. We will open next session with a further refined retelling of what happened while you guys were gone and what you need to do to finish in order to get off the planet. On that note, let's do some outros and shit. Charles, feedback from tonight and whatever else you might have for outro-y stuff.
All I'm gonna say is when you described the thingies, the rat thingies in the tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't remember whether it was a Resident Evil movie or whether it was one of the many Something of the Dead movies I remember watching one time, where this truck is just driving through with saw blades and all this other crap going off.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's all I was imagining as I'm like trying to drive through.
Yeah, and also like I was trying to. If you guys don't know, like I've like consistently, habitually, whatever, I've been trying to go with only giving you guys the information that you would literally know in that particular instance. So when you're driving down this tunnel, and I'm like, I almost didn't like, I didn't know how to throw the idea of like get them to roll a recon, see if they could see the walls moving, but I didn't want to
Right.
have like the obligatory NPC pointing out the window, going, "What is that?" and then make you guys roll. Like that seems kind of silly. That seems kind of video game tropey almost, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why like D&D 5e has the passive perception check.
Right. Yeah. There you go. So that's kind of why I was like, well, I guess the only way to really kick this off is to go with, just make a recon, whatever. But yeah, and I also tried to give it in like, yeah, the walls are moving. The walls are moving. Yeah, you look and you see like hundreds and thousands of these rat-sized reptilian lizard thingies just descending, crawling, exiting holes in the walls, coming straight for your vehicle as you're driving by.
Oh yeah. Nope. Yeah. And then the little gun combat near the end, which I was a little afraid for Wyatt, just simply because him getting shot would not have been cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can fully imagine this spacer dude who barely has enough training with a gun standing up and going, "Say hello to my digital friend,"
and then getting blasted.
and then getting blasted right afterwards.
Because he couldn't dug fast enough.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I know what it is. Grendel's gravity is like 70-75% standard, and Wyatt isn't used to that kind of gravity, so he didn't move fast enough because he literally could not move fast enough to duck back down. If he was in space, he'd have moved just fine. But he's on a planet with heavier gravity than he's accustomed to by significant margins, and therefore couldn't duck fast enough. What else you got? Or is that it?
That's it. I'm good.
Thurgor. I don't know why.
I think it was a great session. I think it was a great session. I think we got a lot accomplished and got a pretty decent outcome.
I just now realized why the Discord order is different on my Discord overlay. It's because you changed your name from Thurgor to Joseph Million.
Do you want me to change it back?
No, it's fine. I've been sitting here wondering why for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's different. Anyway, sorry. Please, go ahead. Continue to lay praise at my feet. I mean, feedback and stuff.
So yeah, next step is getting home, and I'm sure that's not going to be just a smooth ride either.
It will be a smooth flight. What are you talking about?
Right. Full of stealth ships and French people wanting stuff. And, but at least I have +1 to French military faction and +1 to French government faction.
Did I give you that? That sounds like some bullshit I would give you to kind of make you feel better about yourself. Did I give you that last
but I said I told you I was writing it down.
Seems about right. You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Wiggles, feedback, and other outro-based comments.
Wiggles bullshit, all right? So they want us to do these really long convey rolls on these fucking mountains where you just do a bunch of fucking dice checks, which is, oh, that's so fucking engaging, right? And if you do them wrong, you die. And then on the way back, you're like, here, take the shortest trip. I was like, cool. You know, they're doing like a Skyrim dungeon where the exit's right by the entrance. So you don't have to do any backtracking. No, of course none of that. How about some death rats?
Don't forget the firefight at the end.
Tell us how you really feel about this.
If anything, the death threats make the firefight feel redundant because that's 2 action scenes, right?
Yeah.
The person who wrote this fucking model was like, I really want to kill people with mountain trucking.
Oh yeah. The only thing I could hear in my head is either Eastbound and Down or Convoy.
Oh man.
No, the fucking tunnel thing should have been like, okay, cool, we're taking the shortest back home. We're gonna get out of these goddamn mountains. You're like, what if death rats?
What if
it's an animal?
In the mountains? then that's fine. We should have been trying to avoid the death rats when we were moving through the entire mountain area, right? That's just the natural predator of that region on this planet we're on, is the death rats, and that's why we're doing skill rolls so we can like set up watches. We can do recon and whatever, and like that's why we have a reason to drive fast because we're running away from death rats. That actually might be a more interactive way to interact with a mountain. Besides the fact that like, do I call triple? No, I'm on a planet. I can't. I die.
Do I call AAA?
That section is bad. It's stupid. The firefight at the end here, it's fine. That got set up properly because we spot the ship coming in.
Yeah.
So that wasn't that much of an asshole, really. I am upset at the French Navy not tasking the ship to come out here to leaving us all to die. Those lazy assholes.
Man.
Wow, Wiggles has got some opinions, don't he? I'm just teasing.
I'd be like, you didn't write this module, so it's fine. If you wrote this module, I would probably be more diplomatic with my words, but I don't have to. You didn't write this.
I'm not writing your paycheck, so you don't have to save.
Yeah, no. The mountain section of this module was bullshit.
That was a little on the tedious / not much in the way of interaction. I mean,
right,
obviously,
exactly.
Obviously, not every scene needs to be like heavy interaction and heavy action or whatever, but like it definitely was like, and I'm not a big fan of like against or across all different game systems. I'm not a big fan of like the random encounter system. Oh, you guys are in the woods for 6 days. Well, every 8 hours, roll for a random encounter and then probably die 3 days in because you have no more resources with which to recover from these fights that you keep getting into.
Yeah, no. For the most part, I don't like random encounters either. I have run one recently where I was doing a scavenging mission for a traveler game, and they're inside a Tigress, which is like a really big spaceship. So I ran a random encounter table for just shit they would just come across. So you're like, there's frozen acid in this hallway. Things like that.
Yeah. What I have found to be better is when I prep a scenario is to use the random encounter then to generate what encounters the characters may encounter.
Oh yeah, never do the random encounters at the table alive. Yeah. That's just stupid.
Yeah. In fact, if you guys recall, when Wyatt was on Bridge Watch, as you guys were going into the Soul System, you had arrived and had dropped down from FTL, and you encountered over the course of several hours a ship or two asking about the space station blowing up in Alpha Centauri. Those were actual encounters I rolled using the Traveler's random encounter system for when you're traveling through the core systems. And that's how I used it. Was I generated 2 or 3 interactions with different ships based on what I'd already established is happening, which is the blowing up of the space station. So, but that's the best way to do it. Anybody else? Last chance before I do my outro bit.
The salmon cakes were too wet, so they fell apart.
Oh, that sucks.
They still tasted good.
Oh,
they
sure
just
they did,
cakes.
but yeah, they were just salmon and not salmon cakes at that point.
Yeah, they fell apart. That also happens with potato pancakes, so they're too wet too.
Yeah.
And you just pivot into making hash browns.
There you go. Hash browns are always fun. Not really. That is it for us here tonight. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. If you are already a member on the Discord and you have not yet voted for the poll for our new show that'll be starting late January, early February of 2024, please go vote there. And you don't have to choose just one. You can vote for all 3 if you want. Or just 2, or just 1, or, I guess, God forbid, none, if you don't want to vote. If you're not already on the Discord, the link is in the description below for this video on YouTube. Please come down to the Discord, hang out with us, talk shit with us, share some memes and GIFs, and whatever other things people do. If you're still live on the Twitch chat right now, right the second, you can do !Discord and get the Discord invite from there and join the server. Coming up over the next few days, I am scheduled to record another Greyland Trios match tomorrow night, the night of the 7th. That is, however, subject to change based on some other things going on with one of the players. And then Saturday, I am doing Imperium Maledictum over on AP Gaming Reel for a recording session. That video will not be released until later this month, possibly very early next month, but it'll probably come out much sooner than that. Imperium Maledictum, of course, is Warhammer 40k stuff. And then, of course, Monday and next week, Wednesday, we will be doing our normal schedule of things. And then Tuesday, the 12th, doubleheader for the Greyland Trios League, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch. Of course, twitch.tv/Omar Krieg. Come the morning of the 13th, that video for that match will go live. I forget exactly which 4 teams. I'm going to say American Duchess are fighting the Cyan Spirits, and I don't remember the other 2. Maybe, I think it's something like Opposition versus... Oh, God. Opposition versus somebody. I don't remember. Anyway, that's going to get streamed next week on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy, dark place, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're out of here. See you next time. Oh, I can't get my mouse over there because I forgot I don't have TTS Windows. All right, we're out of here for real this time. Stay safe.
Yeah.